Take a lesson, you will see. Football's not by mouth, Rio, Manchester.
Jay here, Stretford Paddock. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford, where tonight Manchester United play Liverpool, but before that there's a protest planned. At about 6 o'clock we're expecting people to come here outside Old Trafford to protest against the Glazers' ownership. We want the 50+1 model, we want the Glazers out, we want a dialogue with them, and we want it all. When do we want it? We want it now. Anyway, people are expected to start turning up very soon. You can see there's a massive police presence here. They've lined all outside the forecourt there, as you can see, all outside the front of Old Trafford. There's police vans. You can probably hear, I don't know if you can hear that, dogs barking. There's police dogs there as well. On the other side, just behind producer Cal, there's lots of police vans and police cars and police set up there as well. We know there's police over the other side where a lot of the players usually arrive. So yeah, massive police presence, but that's not going to stop people coming tonight, and nor should it. We expect a lot of United fans to come down here for the protest at 6 o'clock. It'll be 6 o'clock to kick off. People coming down here to protest against the Glazers' ownership. We saw protests here 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago for the Liverpool game when it should have took place the other Sunday? It didn't, of course. The game was postponed. We don't know whether it's going to go ahead tonight, whether it's going to get postponed. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But we'll be bringing you updates throughout it all as well. If there is a game on, we'll have the watch along. But we're going to be here throughout the protest. I'm going to be here anyway, in the middle of it all, so we'll keep you updated, let you know what is going on. But Manchester United fans are not going away. We're not just going to be happy with this idea that Joel Glazers said he's going to attend a meeting. We want more than that. We want a dialogue with these owners. We want these owners to start listening to us, and more than just a dialogue, we want them to give us. We basically want gone, don't we? Let's face facts. We just want the Glazers gone, and we want fans taking over this football club. But before all that, we are going to have to fight for it. We're going to have to see protests, and that's what we're going to see. These protests aren't going away, and we're not going away. This is our club. It's not the Glazers, it's ours. It's Manchester United fans' club, and everyone who's here is here because they love Manchester United. That's why we were here the other day, and that's why we'll be here again tonight. So we'll be here. We'll be keeping you updated as well. As you can see, huge police presence. There's hopefully going to be a huge fan presence as well. As Manchester United take on Liverpool, it's almost become a footnote, the fact that we're playing the Scousers tonight. United versus Liverpool. We can stop them getting top four if, in fact, the game even goes ahead. Who knows? But we'll be here anyway. So this is Jay Moy outside Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the Manchester United versus Liverpool watch-along, in theory. I'm joined by Alex. How are you? How you doing?
Good. Yes, very good.
You doing well?
Yes, it's all kicking off a little bit.
It's
It's not too bad. It's from what we've seen so far. Protests are peaceful. The only thing that's really gone on is obviously the issue with the Liverpool team bus. Yeah. They've kind of they got blockaded in, and then the tyres got let down, but that's been on the move. There's no confirmation yet that Liverpool team bus has arrived at Old Trafford yet. Yeah. The Man United players are there. A lot of the United players got there very early today. Apparently they've been there for 2 or 3 hours already. A few players have kind of got in now and again. So the United players are there. No confirmation that Liverpool players are there. I think the game's going to go ahead tonight, but it might still be delayed, I think. I think there's a possibility that could still happen.
Well, there was talk, wasn't there, of decoy buses being sent, United having decoy buses, Liverpool having decoy buses, and I was down there before. That's why, well, I say we're late. We're not late because we played the VT, but I just scraped in about a minute ago. It wasn't as busy as last week, but again, it's this sort of ancillary, is that the word? Sort of side project, where last week it was at the Lowry, and this week it was
at the bus.
The Liverpool bus. Again, like I said, there was talk of decoy buses and multiple buses, like it's something like, we're trying to get a notorious, I don't even know, prisoner to a high security prison somewhere without him being
It's all a bit
mobbed.
mad, isn't it? How much police... I mean, I know there's a lot of police. There's a lot of police there for what was last time. There was a few things got on, but very little criminal acts got committed last time, really. Yeah. There's a lot of police there.
I would
for
say
that.
There's probably, and this is a guess, obviously, but based on, 100 to maybe north of 100, pushing 200 police and security outside Old Trafford, not to mention the big, fences and barricades, not to mention sort of multiple layers of fencing. There's an initial fence that's just outside sort of the mega store that guides you down the road, which I guess is St Matt Busby Way all the way down. Yeah. But, for those who don't know, that forecourt there, where the Trinity statue is, where the big football is, if you're looking at it from a top-down perspective, that is actually a road that goes through from essentially where Hotel Football is up to Warwick Road and all the way up to the corner there with the chippies and all that sort of stuff. That's actually a road. It's not like a private space. So the barriers you see that are sort of parallel tram lines that go all the way down there are cordoning off their road. So that's why there's different sets of barriers. So there's the main barriers that establishing that road. Then there's a background barriers, and then there's even further back, sort of 10-foot barriers down where the Munich tunnel is. So all sorts of barricades, security, and measures in place so that we don't have a repeat of last week. And we'll see what happens.
We have got a super chat from Gunny89 saying United protesters now blocking roads down from Old Trafford. And we've got an update from Jay Motti.
Yes.
Is that ready to go?
Right, let's see that.
Here it is.
Yeah, Jay Motti.
So we've been moved along now by the police from outside Old Trafford, moving down the past Charlotte Ferguson stand, you can see there.
We want place outs and we want place
marching down the road.
We want place outs and we want place out. We want place outs and we want place out.
Police just moved us off the forecourt. See there? It's alongside the E stand, or the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Cal's here. What do you reckon, Cal?
Alright, everyone. Don't know where the hell we're going. Don't know if you know, like.
No.
So I was just having a sing-song down the road, to be honest. But let's just carry it on, I suppose.
Let's keep going. Nice one, mate.
So yeah, let's just keep going. That's the word from Jay there. It sounds as though people are being moved on, moved around. Kind of what we saw toward the end of the protest last week, where the police kind of go, right, that's enough of you lot.
Yeah.
Again, there are reports and word that there may be sort of movements towards where the coaches come in.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Liverpool team didn't do what the United team did. Why have they waited till the normal time? United, like you said, have been there for ages, avoided all this. I mean, if that's their intention, which obviously it is to get in there without force, why do you think they're doing it, normal standard time, an hour and a half before kickoff? What's that about?
I don't know. It seems odd. It seems odd that they've not put any other measures in place. They've not done anything in terms of, getting there early, staying in the ground. Surely that Old Trafford's comfortable enough that you could have just been there they could have got there this morning. I'm not being funny, but surely there's enough executive suites that aren't getting used in Old Trafford and different places that you could have just put players for
Even if they wanted to run about in the trainers, move the tables out of the way, put some cones down.
It's a big place.
It's a big place. Yeah,
I don't get it.
No, I don't understand.
It's very strange that they've not done it early. But there's a few people in the comments saying Liverpool are already at Old Trafford and have made it there. If Cam can have a quick look for us to see if Sky Sports or see if anyone is saying anything like that on Twitter. But yeah, people are saying they've got to Old Trafford. That is a little bit late for what they usually do. Whether that'll mean kickoff's delayed, we will wait and see. But I think that we've usually said that the teams usually get there an hour and a half, 2 hours before.
Yep.
Do stuff off the pitch. Come on for 40 minutes onto the pitch, 15 minutes or so, whatever. So whether that means that because they're delayed a little bit, there might be a slight delay in kickoff, but we shall wait and see.
I don't expect there to be one, to be honest. I think from a PR perspective, they will want this to be as to the book, to plan as possible. The Liverpool team have arrived at Old Trafford now after that potential. Again, when I was there, so I was down at Old Trafford before, and people were coming up to me and saying, or I heard people were chatting saying, policemen just told me that was their official Liverpool team bus that got stopped and the tyres got slashed. So again, it's kind of second-hand information, but that is what was being said at Old Trafford.
Laurie Whitwell has just tweeted 52 seconds ago saying Liverpool players are in. The red coach was a decoy round back entrance away from protesting fans outside the normal entrance. So.
Right. So that info...
Loads of decoy things and all sorts of stuff. It's all a bit mad. Decoy buses and different things like that just to get a football match going. It sees...
it is like something from a film, isn't it?
Very much so.
Donald Trump's on one of these cars and we've got to send decoys to make sure that it doesn't get intercepted.
Yeah.
It does seem as though, both teams are now at Old Trafford. And on that basis, I'm going to go ahead and say this game goes ahead. And I would say at the time, like I was just trying to say before then... I think from a PR perspective, both teams, especially Man United, want to look as though we saw what happened last week. We took some measures to make sure it didn't happen again. and look at us, the game's gone ahead on time. So even if they've got there 10, 20 minutes later than they would like to, I think this game will still go ahead on time so United can look prepared and like we stopped any potential problem here. I don't think they will want to push this back.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're going to do everything they can to try and get this game as normal as they can do. The only thing that will be is if the police will probably have to say whether they've secured the ground and whether the fans are trying to get in and all this stuff. There was obviously, you were there, whether there was chanting saying we're going to try and get on the pitch. There was a little bit of that, potentially, allegedly.
Actually, I didn't hear we're going to get on the pitch. There was a lot of chanting about.
There was a lot of chanting stuff. Yeah. Okay, so the police are probably going to have to, relay to people saying whether or not. The players are going to, the ground secure, whether they're only going to try and get in and stuff like that. But it seems like the amount of stuff they've put up and things like that, it seems like they are doing everything they can to stop anybody getting into that place. And I think compared to last time when there wasn't anyone there, there was obviously the reports of I think fans kind of got pushed down that tunnel in the end and then ended up being let in or breaking in, whatever it was. I think that there's a lot more going on. I don't think that there's going to be any fans get onto the pitch today.
No. We're going to show you in a minute a picture. So this the video that came out, you don't need to do the comparison picture, just do the one from tonight. A video that came out of the tyres or the bus being sort of stopped, apprehended or whatever on... is this on the screen now? Yeah. This picture here, right, is maybe my favourite thing of all time. So that's the Liverpool bus. It had been stopped and someone was filming the bus and then coming past... in whatever that is, a bucket with a dog and a man in it, and is a woman cycling behind him, is maybe the most Manchester thing of all time. So it's like, yes, you've got the football, and you've got people stopping and, I'm not going to say ambushing, but, confronting this bus, parking cars in front of it, slashing the tyres, and then you've got maybe the most hipster scene of all time, a man sat in a bucket
with two dogs. There is two dogs.
Oh, there's two dogs.
There is two dogs.
We're just in. There is two dogs.
There is two dogs.
Poodles. Toodles, actually, because there's two of them. What the fuck? That just drives past. Yeah. And the woman in the video says there's enough space to get round us, apparently. But how fantastic is that? I mean, ridiculous. Brilliant. What is that? It looks like a leather bucket as well, doesn't it? Or maybe it's... like MDF or something.
Now, I want to know, is this rented? Is this theirs? Is this their usual mode of transport to get around the city of Manchester?
Well, there's no branding on it, or like rent your husband bucket from us. Like you got a dog or two, you got a husband.
The video is
right. Would you like them to be in a bucket? If so,
the video is just like three police officers looking so... I don't know, menacing and proper. You could have stormtrooper music over it, and then there's a lad in a bucket getting ridden.
It starts off as this like tough, football. Here we go, lads. We're stopping the thing. Coppers walking past, and then here's me and my boyfriend in a bucket.
And then there's people with guitars, and then there's all this, and there's people with guitars and saxophones outside.
I know.
The saxophone man again. Why is he everywhere at the minute?
I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, man in bucket. You've really. There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. If you want to get pedalled around in a bucket, up to you. It's just funny the contrast of cultures there. But it looks as though both teams are at Old Trafford. The game will be going ahead as per usual. Team news will be out around 7:15. For those who don't know, it's a 8:15 kickoff, which is a bit. That's people in there asking for team news. It's not out yet because it's a 8:15 kickoff because they just sometimes put it at 8:15. But before that, we have got some of your score predictions. You can send these in every single match day to paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Let us know how you think the game's going to go. Even if you don't want to give your score prediction, just say, I think this is a game for Cavani, or Ole really need, just give us your thoughts on the match. Again, paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Video yourself on your phone. Get them sent in. You can be featured on the Watchalong. We'll be back just after this.
Hey, it's Jordan here from Stretford Paddock. First of all, we can forget about the Leicester game now. The only good things to come out of it were the fact that Mason Greenwood got another goal in the Premier League, and it was nice to see some well-deserved minutes from Anthony Elanga and Amad Diallo in the Premier League following their performances in the under-23s. But this is the big one now. It's Manchester United versus Liverpool, following the postponement of the original game a couple of weeks ago. And if the players aren't up for it now, then they're never going to be up for it. I'm going to predict a goal fest today because they have to come out. They're fighting for a European place next year, whether it be in the Champions League, Europa League, or in the new Conference League, which we do really want to see him there, but we'll forget about that. I'm saying there's going to be a goal fest tonight. I'm going to say Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2, and my goal scorers tonight are going to be Marcus Rashford, because he loves a goal against Liverpool, Edison Cavani, and another from Mason Greenwood.
James here for Stretford Paddock. United maybe in action tonight against Liverpool. Nobody knows. Today, is it going ahead? Is it not? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? I don't even want to talk about how the game might play out, because it might not even go ahead. We might have a repeat of what happened during the other week, which, to be honest, I understand why people are doing that. I mean, if it's a peaceful protest, if it's like last time, bar a couple of idiots, if it puts the pressure back on the Glazers, then I think that can be a positive thing overall.
Alright lads, I've been waiting for this game for a while now, and I said at the time that I thought we was going to win 2-1. I do think the similar result. I think that we've got a lot to prove, especially from last game. Players have been rested now as well, so we should have a full squad out and we should be ready to go to beat these Scousers. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 United. Second secured. Let's go and get it, boys.
What's good, guys? My name's John from the United Way. This is the Paddock match day prediction for the second leg, protesters versus the Glazers. My starting lineup for this will be Ronaldo Brown up front, Adam McCullough as left wing, Casey at attacking mid, right wing of Joe Smith, a double pivot of Santa Notch and Sam Spanner, left back Liam, right back James, centre back pairing of Ross and Andy Tate, with the big man Stehausen in net, and John as Waterboy. I can't get into my own team, man. So, Manchester United face Liverpool. If the game does go about, we do allow them to play when we want them to play. Remember that. So, if that's the case, Man United will win today 3-1. Greenwood and Cavani to both get on the score sheet. And maybe Man United concede first, because, you know, it's us. So, take care.
So Liverpool have been complaining since Tuesday about how United have lost the top four because they fielded a weakened team against Leicester. Well, apparently, you know, like all those losses at home and playing terrible all season doesn't contribute at all. You know what? I hope United go all out tonight. I hope we play our strongest team. I hope we absolutely batter them. I'm going to say 3-1. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, especially with Maguire injured. But, you know what? Just go out there and just show them where they are now, to be honest.
But if the game does go ahead, it's a bit meaningless, really, isn't it? I know it's United Liverpool. I know it's still United Liverpool, obviously, but we've already got top four. They could get Champions League football. They're obviously annoyed about that, but I think a lot of the attention today is going to be focused on what's going to happen outside the ground in terms of the security that they've put up outside, in terms of how much money they must have spent to make it look like that. So that's going to be more interesting, I think, than the actual game itself. So I'll give a score prediction. I think it'll be 0-0. Honestly, I don't see either team, apart from Liverpool, maybe want to win this. United are going to put more effort now into the Europa League final, so we'll just have to see and wait what happens. To be honest with you, it's going to be an interesting game, and maybe not for events that are going to happen on the pitch.
Hiya, it's Liam here. This is my matchday prediction for Manchester United versus Liverpool. Even though we did lose against Leicester on Tuesday, it was a good opportunity to see the youngsters like Diallo and Elanga play. But we move on to the big game against Liverpool. I know it doesn't mean much, which we never really had a game like this that didn't really mean much, but it's a rescheduled one after the protests that happened the other week. But back to the game, I think we will win 2-1, and hopefully this game we can kick Liverpool out of the top 4 or 5, and let's hope we do. So goal scorers, I'm going to go for Edison Cavani if he plays, and Paul Pogba. Let's hope we beat the Scousers down the road and get the big win. Come on, you Reds.
Yes, Stretford Paddock, Spanner here from the United Forever podcast, and this is my score prediction versus Cesspool. I think it's going to be a really, really dirty match, mega aggressive, and we're going to see more than one red card. But we must keep our nerve, and in the end, we're going to win just by the one goal. Who's going to get it? Paul Pogba with a Rabona, and he'll give all the Paddock Ultras a super hard boner. So, here we go. Let's have it. Viva El Paddock.
Paddock match day, Notch here. Now, by the time this video is shown, we may or may not know if this game is going ahead or not. If it is, then it is the perfect opportunity to shove Liverpool fans' whiny, pathetic, hypocritical, holier-than-thou desperation all the way down their he had cold feet throats. 35 games of hearing about Trent being better than Beckham, Thiago's idea balls, Firmino's science-defying clumsy first touch, wanting government intervention over a tackle, while the rest of us have watched the worst title defence in Premier League history by the greatest team in Premier League history by going 2-1 today. Howson, get that Ollie tweet ready for your famous thread, because this means Thursdays. Up the fucking Reds. Trust the Notchster.
Right, thank you once again for your predictions. If you want to send them in, you can send them every single match day to paddockmatchday@gmail.com and we'll put you on the watch along. We're seeing live footage from Old Trafford. It looks as though the fans have been moved away from the ground now.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they allowed to do that? I don't quite understand the basis by which they can say you have to move.
Because that bit outside, there is a line outside Old Trafford that is still public land.
Yeah.
You're allowed to stand on certain areas.
But
and all this kind of stuff.
been moved off of that line.
Yes.
And so how's that? How
they've
can
been
you do
moved
that?
down. It seems like they've moved down towards past Hotel Football, past there, down towards where Mancunian Way or where Chester Road kind of is there.
Yeah.
Not quite sure where they go from there, whether they come back onto Chester Road, whether they move back onto Chester Road. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. James Cooper's there speaking about it all on Sky, explaining it all. Obviously, police horses and all sorts. But I think that's probably going to be that, isn't it? Unless there's, we said the last time everyone thought there was a plan or whatever going one thing and then something else happened. Whether there's something else going on here, there is a few fans walking back across the front of Old Trafford across the forecourt. Maybe that's them just dispersing. Not 100%.
And it's hard to know whether that's footage from a while ago or from now.
Yeah, it says live at Old Trafford.
The report's live from James Cooper, but I guess I assume that's live as well. But yeah,
let's have a quick
it's
look
hard
on
to be certain on that.
Twitter.
Yeah, interesting enough. Looks as though people have moved on, or maybe not. But there's definitely some emphasis in policemen on horses, sort of blocking all the way out, like well outside Hotel Football, not just on the forecourt, not just outside the stadium. It looks as though people have been pushed well round. So. Yes, but then people are maybe walking back on, so it's hard to know exactly what's going on there. We've got Jay down there. Hopefully we'll be able to hear from him soon. He'll be able to give us an update on exactly what's going on if we can get hold of Jay Martin, who's still down at the ground.
Yeah, there's some reports from The Athletic coming out and stuff saying that Manchester United put beds for the players in corporate boxes at Old Trafford this afternoon to try and ensure tonight's match versus Liverpool went ahead.
Fucking bed, like it's fucking World War II or something.
Yeah,
we've got to turn the stadiums into beds for the fucking soldier. Yeah, it's not that serious, is it? Beds for them. You're gonna have to stay overnight.
And then Gary Neville's
treat the wounded.
Have you seen Gary Neville's kind of pre-match stuff? And they've been talking about it all and saying about the communication between Joel Glazer and saying that it's ridiculous that the two conversations that he's had with fans before, he's had the one when they first arrived, kind of, and then the two next communications he had with fans were apology letters. The first apology letter, obviously, with the Super League, and then the apology letter after the last protest.
Yeah.
He then went on and said that it's a sad state of affairs when you have to put prison walls and things around Old Trafford to stop your fans stopping a game. And it seems like, for as much as that may be necessary in terms of stopping a protest and all these kind of things, in terms of how they've not been able to communicate in the last 12 months, the last whatever, or the last week or two after the last protest, in order to try and calm things down or to try and get something ahead of it. Why did they not force a meeting through the Glazers? Why not force a meeting through with the current directors and stuff? Is worrying that they can't just do that. Because, even starting the conversation earlier than just a letter might have done it, but they've obviously not done that. They've got United's communication director on Sky, I think Charlie. He's talking to Sky at the minute. Cam's going to update us what he's kind of saying, if he can hear anything coming on.
Yeah,
but we will have team news in a minute. Yeah.
They sort of like United don't treat their fans like fans, do they? They either treat them with sort of contempt and they almost ignore them, or they treat them like fucking criminals and dickheads who are something that need to be pushed away. So they've really struggled to find the balance of how exactly to treat United fans surrounding all of this. There are some reports of the team coming out. Apparently it's Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba and Cavani. That's the team I predicted. That's the team Jay predicted. I think that's the team pretty much anyone who is a Manchester United fan would have predicted. That is a couple of minutes ago from Frederick Fieldvet. I'm going to guess that is the correct team. Again, this is official confirmation now from United. Henderson, Lindelof, Bailly, Pogba. They're doing it in a shocking order like they always do. So it's Henderson,
it's right, yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly and Shaw. Then it's McTominay and Fred in the deep line positions. Then in front of them you've got Pogba, you've got Bruno, you've got Rashford, and up front you've got Edinson Cavani. Again, it was almost a start 11 that picked itself, really, wasn't it, after the other night?
Yeah, it's almost a reverse. The only person obviously remaining from that game is Eric Bailly, with not too many options at the centre of half. It was kind of a case of, was it going to be Bailly that parted Lindelof, or was it going to be Tuanzebe? It was probably always going to be Bailly. There wasn't going to be too much conversation there. But like I said, I think that's Manchester United's potentially strongest team at the minute in the way it functions. I think Mason Greenwood has a very good argument to be starting every game at the minute, but I don't think anyone's going to drop Marcus Rashford at this moment in time. I still think he's got that edge ahead of Mason Greenwood, but that is pretty much United's strongest team, and it's good to see. Have we got the Liverpool team potentially?
We'll have a look for that as well, and we'll get the full graphic of the United team on the screen as well for those of you who haven't seen it. Just before we do that, we just quickly go through the subs as well. We've got De Gea, Telles, Tuanzebe, Williams, Amad Diallo, Mata, Matic, Van der Beek and Mason Greenwood, as you mentioned before, is on the bench there for Manchester United. In terms of the Liverpool team then, it is Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Williams, Phillips and Robertson. So a very inexperienced centre-back partnership there. Then there's Fabinho back in midfield, Wijnaldum and Thiago. And then they've got Jota, Salah and Firmino up front. So that other than the centre-back partnership, a full-strength Liverpool there.
No Mane.
Maybe no Mane, but he's on the bench, so he's available for Liverpool.
Surprised
Mane's not been as good this season,
He hasn't, but he's better than Firmino still, I'd say. I still think he's a better footballer
They
than
just
Firmino.
like Firmino, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they haven't got another striker.
Deep
so they have
playmaking
is
striker.
one of the great examples of a player that, because he was in a good team, people just had to start with the premise that he must be really good because he's in a really good team, and then we'll give you evidence afterwards. Like, it's not like he didn't prove himself to be a great player and then people said he's a great player. People started with, he's in a great team so he must be great and here's why, when he just isn't. He's a decent player at best.
I think he links up play relatively well. I think he's quite good at that, but that is about all I can say. He's nothing. I don't think he's anything special. To not score many goals as a number 9, even a false number 9 or play defensive number 9, whatever you want to call it, Liverpool fans try to say. I don't think he's been that good. But yeah, surprised that Jota maybe not starting as the number 9 and maybe Mane starting. But apart from that, Liverpool haven't got too many other options in there. So they've obviously got Henderson still injured. Van Dijk's ruled himself out of the Euros, I think, as well. Not even that. So Gomez still out and Matip also as well. So not many other options for Liverpool. But like I said, Manchester United team, that is our strongest team available at the minute. It's a shame not to see Mason playing, but I think that he kind of was the one that almost got sacrificed to the night and go, look, you start as our number 9 because Cavani needs to have a break. You're going to need to do at least 75 minutes for us. You're not going to be able to just do an hour, or you're not just be able to do a half. You're going to need to play near enough a full game.
Yeah.
And that'll allow us to play Cavani this week.
And it was a pretty good performance from Greenwood. The goal was spectacular. Like, we had 5 men around him just to, sort of just lean past Soyuncu and stick it in the bottom corner. Flashburn 52 with a bit of breaking news. The man in the bucket is rumoured to be on the bench for United. So that man who was being pedalled around...
Does he get to keep his little dog
in a bucket with 2 dogs is potentially making his debut for United on the bench today. No Harry Maguire, obviously. Eric Bailly in there. Let us know what you think of that team, because I think that's as strong a team as we could have put out. I think it was a very obvious team.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be any surprises, but no one's surprised looking at that, especially with the fact that Mason Greenwood played for United 48 hours ago. I think even in his great form, he was always going to have a rest. He's only 19 years old. But yeah, I think that's a good team. Are you confident now you've seen that team? Obviously, again, you're not surprised by the content of it, but now you see it, you know that it is that team.
The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the centre halves, having not played together very often this season. Harry Maguire has been the constant for such a long time. I think that people have, there's been people online saying, "Oh, you won't miss him that much. He's not that good." Harry Maguire has been excellent for Man United this year and this season. He is a quality player.
Yep.
He's led the line. He does the right things all the time. He's so confident on the ball. Eric Bailly is a very good player, but I don't think him or Lindelof have proved themselves as top centre halves at Manchester United, and I think that that's the reason why Harry Maguire was signed in the first place. If this was our first choice centre half pairing, you wouldn't have spent £80 million on Harry Maguire. So that's my only worry. Apart from that, I'm confident the team. Fred and McTominay do a very good job in there. There's obviously limitations to them, but they've done a very good job in a lot of good big games this season. And that front three, Pogba on the left-hand side has been class. Also, Cavani's been very good in the recent weeks. Marcus Rashford hopefully kicks into gear.
I was going to say the only problem is Marcus Rashford on the right isn't the same Marcus Rashford as he is on that left-hand side, is he? But Ollie's in the position where he has to fit all of his best players in at once.
He is, but he also can do things like, I think people have underestimated the things like the cross he put in for the Cavani's goal. He's done that a lot of times, a lot this season. He's put in some very good crosses. I don't think that's the best Marcus Rashford you see. I think he's at his best on the left-hand side, driving at defenders and doing that. But I think he's also got a very good passing range and can play those crosses in.
Yeah.
I think he's proved that in the last few games. I think I'm hoping he can do that tonight against the defence that aren't going to be comfortable doing that.
No. We've got an update from Jay Motti, who has been and still is down at Old Trafford in the protest, with the protests. We saw footage, maybe the fans been moved on. We've got an update from Jay. He can explain exactly what is going on down there.
We were around here where the coaches were, but we've heard that the coaches are already in. So we come back to Old Trafford forecourt now. There's still a few hundred people here at least, maybe more, maybe about 1,000. It's difficult for me to tell. But yeah, everyone's in good spirits. It's a peaceful process, but everyone's loving it.
Right, we're back. Thank you very much for that, Jay. It does sound as though the people who had sort of been, it looked like moved around, almost maybe had gone down there on their own volition or of their own volition, heading back towards the forecourt now. As he said, there's still a few people knocking about. Not the same scale as we saw last week, was it? But it's midweek. It's it's a Thursday night.
There's also a fortress been built around United, literally to stop people getting in. And I think that there's only so much that people could do tonight. I think that they've again made the presence known, made the thoughts known again.
Yeah.
It's got a decent amount of coverage. Just the fact that they expected so much has probably meant there's been more coverage. There will be coverage worldwide again. Obviously not with the same thing of people getting onto the pitch, but the fact that there was that expectation, the fact that it was that replay, the fact that it was all happening again, will have had the coverage. There will be more talk about it, which is a good thing. Back to this game tonight as well. Bruno Fernandes captains Manchester United.
Does
tonight.
he?
Yes.
I was wondering whether it would be Pogba or Fernandes. I thought they were the sort of
Bruno
the leading
captains
candidates.
or even Marcus. I think Marcus could have probably done a job, but Bruno Fernandes is captain tonight, which a lot of people say he is the captain of Manchester United, the way he plays on the pitch and he leads kind of thing. But tonight he is the captain with Harry Maguire's absence.
Yes. Speaking of Harry Maguire's absence, you said before about Eric Bailly maybe being of not concerned in and of himself, but we've seen Bailly play this season, almost every time it's been with Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last league game that Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof played together. If anyone knows that, please let me know. The last time those two players started a league game together.
This is the first time that Harry Maguire's not, or Tuesday was the first time Harry Maguire hadn't started a Premier League game for Manchester United, and Villa since he signed, and Villa was the first game he'd missed a minute.
Exactly. So it's
ridiculous.
So those two can't have started in the league together for 2 years.
No.
So it's a very rare partnership that we're seeing now, despite the fact that we've basically only got 3 centre-backs we ever use. 2 of them have never played together or haven't played together in a league match for at least 2 years.
Yeah, I think Twanzebe did very well the other night. He played well for... sorry about that. Twanzebe did very well the other night alongside Eric Bailly, and they looked okay considering they had played very little minutes themselves, never mind as a partnership. So they did very well. Again, Lindelof and Bailly... There's not a big physical threat with Liverpool. They're not going to be having to win headers. That's not the kind of team that Liverpool are. That is, you're always worried against Victor Lindelof.
Yeah.
Eric Bailly's obviously got the pace. It's whether the other worry a little bit tonight is whether Eric Bailly can get through 90 minutes having struggled with injuries all season, and he was the only starter. He's played 90 minutes on Tuesday. Whether he can get through 90 minutes tonight, having played very little football, and now being thrust into playing 2 games in 48 hours, it's a test for Eric Bailly's fitness, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tuanzebe was ready at half-time to come on and do 45 minutes if that has to happen, or even after an hour or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask, isn't it, of any player to play 2 games in 48 hours, especially someone who, as we know, struggles with injury and played for the first time in, properly in a couple of months yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, in Eric Bailly. People putting the score predictions there, people saying Greenwood will score. I'd take that, absolutely. Do you make us favourites for this game? Because Liverpool are on a bit of good form. I know that the second leg to Milan didn't count in terms of the result itself, but we did lose that game. We did lose again to Leicester. Do you sort of put them to one side because we were already through against Milan and it was the reserves basically against Leicester, or do you think United are kind of looking for a bit of form at the minute?
No, I think we've been playing some great football. I think that even in the Leicester game with a mixed bag of team, there was some good things there. The Villa game, especially in the second half, was fantastic how we played. We went at them. The Roma game, again, another mixed bag of players. It wasn't really consistent, but we've been playing some fantastic football the last few weeks. The second half against Roma, the second half against Aston Villa. If United take a lead tonight, I think that we could score a few goals against Liverpool, because, look, they're going to have to come out and do something because they have to win this game. I've seen Jamie Carragher speaking today saying they may not have to win this game. It may just be a case of, just can they not, if they don't lose, they're still in with a shout. But they have to win today's game. Are they 7 points behind Chelsea, I believe, with 2 games in hand on them, with one of them being tonight.
Yeah.
They have to win today to have a chance.
If we beat them tonight, I know you know this, but for anyone who doesn't know this categorically, if we beat Liverpool now, they don't make top 4. They don't get Champions League football. So, like you said, a draw, 1 point.
And I think a win for us tonight leaves us 1 point away from guaranteeing second place. I know people are going to go, what's the difference in second, third, and fourth? I think there's a mental thing for Manchester United that we need to finish in second place. In terms of how the season's gone, I think if this season fizzles out, even if we are rotating players in terms of the Europa League, I think that momentum going into next year is massive. The Leicester game, obviously we rotated the team, but I think we need to keep that momentum going. Let's get, I think, 7. If we can get 7 points these last 3 games, I think that'd be very, very good for Manchester United. Whether that point comes tonight, or whether we can nick a win tonight or win tonight, 7 points in the last few games. Not push Manchester City. Obviously, the title is over, but let's keep that gap where it is. Let's not let that go any bigger or anything like that. Be a second place that you can think, if we'd have won X, Y, and Z, we could have won that this year.
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing you want. Whereas you don't want to be that position that we were the last time we finished second, which was 19 points. You can't pick 7 games out.
No one was totting up how we could have won the league that season.
No, but if you're 7 points behind,
match, the West Brom match, the Everton match, we'd have been there.
Yeah.
It's obviously excruciating, and it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's good that we can even sort of, like you said, pick 3 or 4 games and we're right on City's tail. That's good to be in that position from where we have been in recent seasons.
Absolutely, and to do that as well as doing relatively well in all the cups, obviously getting to the final of the Europa League, getting to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, semi-finals of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
It's a good run in that. We've played a lot of games. I think that'll be shown. I think we've played 60-odd games this season already for Manchester United. To do that and to maintain a decent league form, to finish a comfortable second, to be the closest challengers to a very good Manchester City team who could be, win the European Cup this year, is a very good season for Manchester United, considering where we were when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over. So I think the main thing in these next 3 games is keep the momentum going into the final and into next season.
Again, the protests have been taking place outside Old Trafford and are still taking place as well. I was down there before. Jay's still down there now, is what I was going to say there. Sorry, he's going to be sending in updates as things go along. There was, I'm not sure if it was the official bus. It looks like it maybe wasn't, a decoy bus with Liverpool FC branding on it that was thought to be the Liverpool team bus. The tyres were slashed on that. That then turned out not to be the team bus. A man in a bucket with 2 dogs got cycled past that bus in one of the greatest pictures of 2021 so far. Then both teams have arrived at Old Trafford. The protests are still ongoing. Some people were moved around trying to look for where the buses enter Old Trafford, but I think sort of got there too late, perhaps, by the sound of how the players did get in. It seems as though Manchester United have been at Old Trafford for many hours now, coming in a lot earlier than they usually would. But yeah, it looks as though the game is set to go ahead. No one has breached any of the sort of the fencing or the security measures that have been put in place outside Old Trafford. And having been there, I can tell you that there was a hell of a lot of police and security there. I would say, in comparison to last week, 10 times more, maybe 20 times more. Last time there was a couple of rows of 5 or 6 police officers. This time there was multiple rows of a dozen or 2 dozen police officers, and then almost a full presence down the side of that security fencing outside of Old Trafford in front of the mega store between there and the Trinity statue. So they came out with a hell of a lot of sort of security, of police, people on horses, backup, and a lot of, you hear the radio communications going on. Everyone was on a little bit more edge this time than they were last time, and obviously, you can see why that's happened. But it seems as though the protests have been peaceful tonight, and again, that attempt to stop the Liverpool bus, whether it was their bus or not, looking like it wasn't, Liverpool are in the ground, United are in the ground, the teams have been announced, the game will be going ahead. So that is the latest update on the protest. Jay Motty, I left earlier to come here. Jay Motty is still there. He's going to be bringing us updates. He will also be here at half-time as well to bring us exactly what was happening there. We're going to be taking you through all the way through the match with the usual watch-along as well. And that's just an update for anyone who's just got with us or who didn't quite know the situation at Old Trafford tonight. We see Klopp on the screen there. Someone said before, this is one of the worst title defences they've seen. And this isn't, I'm not saying this to defend Liverpool, but in recent seasons, we have seen some shocking title defences. Man United under Moyes, we can all, well, most of us watched that and knew it was horrific. Then you saw City a couple of seasons ago or last season when they won the league, when Liverpool won the league, City were miles off them. Liverpool this season, miles off them. When Leicester won it the next season, miles off them. Like, it doesn't seem like, other than City, who have won it a couple of times in a row, the general rule of things at the minute is you have a season or two at the top, and then you lose the league by miles. What was City, 30 points or something off Liverpool last season? It's a very strange time, isn't it, in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think it all kind of comes down to the level of the squads. I think the fact that Manchester City's squad, I think, is a lot better than everyone else's in terms of a whole 22, 25 players, whatever it is. Yeah. I think you've looked at Liverpool when they've won the league, you've looked at Leicester when they've won the league, even Chelsea. It's potentially just a very strong 11, very strong 14 players that play week in, week out.
Yeah. And
that can only last for so long. And that fitness can only last for so long, whether it be 2-3 years or whatever it is. I think Liverpool had their cycle of 2.5 seasons really from them kicking on and doing well in the Champions League to them winning the Champions League, having a good run in the Premier League, taking City all the way, and then to win it, there is a drop off there straight away. That's about all it is. It's about 2.5 seasons, whereas City have managed to get the squad to keep that going.
Yeah.
Also, these clubs haven't really spent. There's probably only Man City that have spent when they've been doing well.
Yeah, they're sort of the outlier in that. I agree with you, that formula of teams have a season or two at the top with 14, 15 players. City the outlier where they've kind of got 18, 19 real top quality players they've been allowed to rotate more. So the fact that they were so poor last season, and someone said it was 19 points by the end, not 30. There was times in the season where Liverpool were more than 20 points clear of anyone. I know by the end they dropped a few points. But City last season are kind of surprised in that regard, aren't they? Because they do have so many good players. They don't need to rely on this sort of crescendo of performance and a luck with injuries like everyone else does. Yeah. And yet they were still terrible last season. So that's just a slightly weird one, isn't it?
It's a slight weird one. Whether there's a little bit of, they didn't quite get the transfers right. They lost company and didn't really replace him, and they were reliant on Laporte, and was Otamendi still there, and John Stones. It wasn't as good as what they've done this season, which is signed two more centre halves at 65 million and 45 million quid or whatever it was.
Yeah,
they've looked very good this season with strength in depth everywhere, which they've not had in the past. You're then looking at the other teams. Liverpool are struggling in terms of squad. Leicester are obviously struggling in terms of squad. City are the only team that have really had that squad to be able to do it. Manchester United, and they're the only squad that have kicked on and spent whilst they were doing quite well. They've spent, when they won the league, they bought Riyad Mahrez. They signed another player, and that's been the case in the past. Whereas, Liverpool last summer, they bought Jota.
Yeah.
That was about it, wasn't it? They didn't. They signed Thiago, but again,
they've not gone big though.
They've not gone big. No. They've still got big holes in terms of squad depth, in terms of the centre halves, in terms of the full backs, in terms of midfield. They've not gone big and done that, which Manchester City had. I think that this will be the thing that Man United need to do. The team has improved and done well. Let's spend again and let's get better, because that's the only way you catch Man City, is keep improving that squad.
Absolutely. We do have a special guest with us today. He's snuck in under the cover of camera angle changes.
Done well there.
Trevor Dwyer-Lynch, how you doing, mate?
How are you, mate? You all right, lads? You good?
Yes, not
doing
too
very
bad.
well. I think the last time we spoke was about 5 o'clock in the morning, the night of the American election.
It was.
on Jay's podcast, and everyone was thinking Biden's lost at that point, when it looked like Trump had won like all of the swing states, and everyone was sort of down and chatting like that. But
I
how
went
you
to
doing?
bed.
You went to bed, woke up, and everything was fine.
I'm doing all right, just doing all right as we do, just coping with everything as we are.
Yeah.
Seeing what the rundown is to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too much. Well, I suppose the top 4 race is the only thing that's really still going, isn't it? Which United can have a big say in tonight. What are your thoughts on these protests then, and what's been going on over the last few weeks? Let's get your opinion on that straight away.
If I'm honest, I think direct action needs to be taken. I don't condone violence or that lot. I think, it's comes a time when everybody's really, really sick of it, aren't they? Do you know what I mean, of what's going on? And I think the Super League, instigation was really the icing, and the straw that brought the camels back. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. I mean, my mate's a blue, right, and he's got a great conspiracy theory. So let's say this: what if, right? Because none of the clubs have been fined. There's been no action, has there been? Saying the 6, right? But what if they could have played the game the day after Liverpool? They didn't. What if the Premiership decided to do it as it was, right? Put it on last week, knowing full well there's going to be a protest, right? Knowing full well that's going to cause animosity and deepen the rift further against the two teams. Although they both instigated the Super League, but if you look at the crying and the moaning of what it's caused with the Scousers, it's been unbelievable. And my mate's a blue, and he's going, yeah, but you don't get in it. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
To extend the rivalry between United and Liverpool?
Extend the rivalry.
Get more views for this match for the Premier League. More money for them next season.
Feasible, isn't it?
I know there was definitely something in the fact that they wanted to play the game the day after. The players were happy. And I think Sky had a big say in saying that's not happening, because we're not just going to move everything around and not have this game televised and whatever, or move around the other games that were on the Monday night, because that's what they're there for. They've got this all scheduled out. They want to play 2 games at most on a day. Yeah. They want every game to be played. They want to fulfill their contracts. They don't want to have it, being a second thing that you can watch on a red button somewhere. They want it to be everyone can watch every single game.
That's their punishment. That's their punishment on us by congesting the fixtures. Because why has no one been taken to task about it? None of the top 6.
Well, I wonder if there's a case to be made that what rule did they break by saying, "Oh, we're going to leave"? I guess technically they didn't play in the Super League. They didn't leave the Prem. I wonder if it's hard to put a rule on, a statement where they say we're going to be playing.
I think the other thing is that for as much as the Premier League come out and said, "Look, the Premier League's the most important thing," and even the fans have come out and said, "Look, the Premier League, the Football League, the pyramid is the most important thing." The other thing is they also realise that the Premier League is nothing without those top 6 teams. And if they annoy them anymore, if they put a big fine on, if they said something, they could just walk away. And whether there is the fan revolt and all this kind of stuff, they could just say, "Do you know what, we'll just go for this franchise stuff anyway." There's still Madrid and Barca and Juventus were still there, and I still think that they were thinking, "Do you know what, a United, a City, a Chelsea could still just walk away. They could just still go and do this. They could just go and play." My mate described it. What they wanted to turn it into was the Cirque du Soleil football. Okay. He travels around. They play these games. Sure. It looks all good. It's not really competition. It's a show that travels around the world.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what it is. I think there's still a bit of fear by the Premier League that these guys, for as much as the Premier League have flexed the muscles and said, we're the most important thing, or the FA have gone, we're the most important thing, those top 6 clubs hold a lot in terms of everything that goes on.
I just think, obviously it's been rumoured for years this was going to happen, wasn't it? But I just think it was disgraceful, the module that they wanted to take on. You know what I mean? There's a slice of a pie for everybody. You know what I mean? Why can't the likes of, Huddersfield, who get promotion every season, end up in the Premiership and end up trying to fight for you know, a top 6 spot or Champions League. Why should it just be that, you know, no relegation, no promotion? So I think it's disgraceful and it's embarrassing for what my club's done.
We say about your club, but you in the past have worked for the club.
Yeah.
How does what you see happening now compare to what it was like at the time and the atmosphere at the time? Is it even the same thing anymore?
How long have you got?
Well, we've got 45 minutes till kick-off.
Well, I was very proud and honoured to work for the club for 22 years and the community and Centre of Excellence schemes, you know what I mean? And, you know, seeing academy stuff, seeing kids, you know, I started the same year, class of 92, coming through. Do you know what I mean? So I've seen all of them come through. I've seen hundreds of kids coming through. The ethos and morals and everything that Fergie built, it was just unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It was unbelievable, and it was there, and it was set in stone, and you know that went from the top right through to the bottom. Do you know what I mean? And you know, academy kids played the same way as the first team do, but not obviously in intensity.
Yeah.
So that transition, if a kid comes from the under 16s, under 18s, under 23s, there's not an issue how they play, because the coaches who were there were excellent, taught them that certain way. Do you know what I mean? The way the club is now, I just don't even recognise it.
Yeah.
I just honestly, I don't recognise what really aggrieved me. Player power. That was really got my goat. You know, we don't need to talk about, you know, instigated it, but that would never happen. And I don't get where, if you set a president and you set something in stone, why you as the next manager doesn't follow that in. Them rules, them ethics, them morals, that is the way that it is. There should be no digression from that. Do you know what I mean? This is the way that it is, blah, blah, blah. Whether you like it or not, I just don't get where, you know, and I'm old, I've supported this club 52 years, do you know what I mean? And I do not see how, I mean, I know it's all about money, but player power can just come in and tell a manager this and tell a manager that.
I think some of it is when Fergie was there, the expectation was that no player is as valuable as a manager. And even if you sign a 5-year contract, well, Fergie's going to be here after that. So if you fuck up with him, you might as well be gone. Whereas now, if you sign a 5-year contract, the chances are you're going to be here longer than the manager is.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the manager has become more disposable than your top players. But yeah, when you see it pan out the way it has, it's not always good, is it?
What's amazing in that is it's Fergie. Today's I think it's 7 years or 8 years since Fergie retired his last home game against Swansea. Mm-hmm. And I watched Jeff Shreeves put up the interview after it, and he talks about you know, retiring and keeping it under his hat and stuff. And they asked him about Wayne Rooney and says, why was Rooney in the squad today? And he says to him, he asked a transfer request, and he just said, what do you think? You'll have to think about it, and done. No manager's been like that ever since, and no one will ever be like that ever since, because I think that was one of the big things about the Super League and why that fell down, is because some of the players started putting stuff out, and I think the players communicated that they weren't happy, because at the end of the day, that is still the selling point of all this.
Yeah,
is these star players travelling around the world.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you take Manchester United.
A poster of Joel Glazer for the wall, are they?
No,
but Paul Pogba.
If you don't take Paul Pogba with you with Manchester United, if you don't take Lionel Messi with you with Barcelona, if you don't take these players around the world, it all falls down. And I think that, like you said, that has gone ridiculous with how much power these players have. It showed in a good way a few weeks ago in the fact that they said we're not doing this, but they have so much money, they have so much power, they have so much. You've looked at players getting rid of managers, you've looked at players maybe not down in tools, but almost saying, I'm more important, like you said, I'll be here longer than you will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it has gone crazy with it all.
Yeah.
Go on.
What did you make of the protest last week and then today? Obviously, you mentioned already you're not condoning any violence. I don't think anyone at this table would do. But in terms of how the Glazers have tried to manage the club and how the Glazers have tried to just leverage everything for the sake of money, do you think that has been coming for a while then, what we've seen over the last couple of weeks? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, obviously, when it first happened, you know what I mean, when they first took over, you know, FC United went away, didn't they? He took 10,000 with him, 15,000. But I think it's hard for people to understand is just how massive our global fan base is. So if us three get rid of our season tickets, there's another 33 that want to get the season tickets. So it's very, very hard for people who don't live in this country, who don't live locally, to understand exactly what we see, because they just want to support Manchester United. Now, direct action, like I said, had to be taken. Personally, I don't have a problem with him going into the stadium. as long as you don't smash anything up. You know what you should have done? You should have sat down there, sat on the pitch, peaceful demonstration, social distance, sat on the pitch, blah, 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 blah. But then, unfortunately, you get, and people are not going to like it, but you get people who, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, who don't know nothing, just joining in, and then decided to, like, smash a few barriers down, antagonise the old Bill. What was he doing on the goalpost? It reminded me of, like, I remember, I don't know if you were probably too young, but the All Nations, Scotland versus England. Just when you played at Wembley, the Scots used to jump on the goalpost and pull it down.
Crossbar,
do you know what I mean?
bending in half.
So you think to yourself, what are you achieving then? And what it does, it makes us look ridiculous, and it takes away our story and feeds the narrative of the anti.
And I think, again, going back to conspiracy theories, I think there's probably a reason why they opened them gates. Because everything kind of built in, and there's rumours that the gates got opened onto the pitch.
Have you not seen it on Twitter?
Yeah,
the gates on Twitter? Security guard.
The reason probably why is because they know that was going to be the case. There was no plan when they got on. So as soon as you do that, you're going to have people breaking stuff. You're going to have people on camera doing daft things. And that then can change the narrative. That's an easy thing to change the narrative. And if you'd left them in that tunnel or whatever, you've got that build-up, you've got whatever it is. You let them on the pitch and let them do that. Go and show yourselves. Because
you know what I thought?
Nothing's good's going to happen.
I never thought I'd agree with, like, Jamie Carragher. But I thought on that day, Jamie Carragher was talking a lot of sense and what he was saying about, obviously direct action has to be taken, etc., 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 and also about how they got rid of their bad owners. Do you know what I mean? How they got rid of their bad owners back in the day. I can't remember what they were called because I don't even take much interest in. But he said within a week or 2 weeks or something, or what I mean, the crowd had got rid of him, the fans had got rid of him. So there is ways of getting them out.
Yeah.
But it's a collective thing, isn't it?
Yeah. The problem is it's a lot easier to get rid of an owner when a club is worth 28 million than it is when it's worth 3, 4, 5 billion, whatever Manchester United's worth. It takes more, doesn't it? And I think in defence of some of those people on the pitch, like you said, I don't think the effort before. I think you can see from the footage and stuff of people on there. I don't think the plan was let's get on the pitch and here's what we'll do when we're on there. I think the gates are open, let's go on the pitch. So I can sympathise with people who maybe did things where you think, well, that wouldn't have been the plan if we'd have had a plan, but I don't think there was one. So I see how things went in the direction they did. Obviously, I don't want people getting, things getting smashed about and stuff.
But why wasn't the older fans, the older fans going, get off the flipping goalpost?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Etc. Etc. What this is what I'm saying at the end of the day. There's leaders and these sheep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think to take away what we were processing about how we're sick to death of them stealing money from the club.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're sick to death of that. We're sick to death of how they try to, instigate the Super League. And it's funny, isn't it, that both these clubs have both got American owners.
Yeah.
This has been coming for a while. I think this American ownership thing with even Arsenal have got it as well. There's that picture, obviously, of the Arsenal owner, the Liverpool owner, United owner, Woodward, all sat around the table somewhere. This was a couple of years ago.
But they shouldn't have it. For me,
it shouldn't be.
Owners should be football men.
Yeah.
You can talk about Abramovich as much as you want, but he was a football man.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why. Obviously, Chelsea fans during the Super League, when it was still being announced, they were down at the ground and stuff, weren't they? And City fans, not really. But you can tell the reason why that is because their owners have come in and lost money on their project of owning a football club, whereas Man United owners have come in to make money, and they have made money from. That's the difference, isn't it? Whether you're a football person or not, owning a football club shouldn't be for the purposes of personal profit. It should be for the purposes of furthering that club, whether that takes money or not. I almost think the idea of taking dividends out and having to pay banks loans out of the earnings of a football club should be illegal, if nothing else. We've got about half an hour till kick-off.
Yep.
You've seen the team. Have you seen the team?
Slightly.
Let's get the team back up and we'll go through the team again because in case anyone hasn't seen the team. Is the match delayed, Gaurav? No, it isn't. As far as I'm aware, the match is going ahead as planned. The team there we'll go through again. Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly and Shaw. And you've got Fred and McTominay midfield, Rashford, Fernandes and Pogba in behind Edinson Cavani. About as strong a team as we could field there. What are your thoughts on that, Trevor?
Yeah, obviously, Cavani and buzzing.
He's good, isn't he?
But good, mate. He's beyond good, isn't he? And I just hope that the two young kids, because in my mind I see Greenwood as our next number 9.
Yeah.
Out and out. My only reservation is that we don't ruin him by playing him wide right totally. Because if you look, when we do get hit on the break, a lot of it is from his side because he doesn't track back because that's not in his psyche.
No.
His psyche is always to attack and go forward. So then when he's got to do a job, it's quite alien for him to do that. And then the kid comes under a little stick. But I think if he looks at Cavani, I mean, we're watching a game the other day and we're saying, look at the chances, look at the half chances. The keeper saved it. No one's in there. Rashford's on his heels. Marcus Green was on his heel. Get in there, follow the shot in, anticipate. Do you know what I mean? I talk to strikers, ex-strikers at the club, when they say the same thing, they're not anticipating. If you look at Cavani, that's his thing. He anticipates. His movement is tremendous.
His second goal against Roma, wasn't it? Like last week or so, it was just a tap in from a shot, wasn't it? So
because what he's done is he spotted you, good as shoot.
Yeah.
And then straight away he's anticipated to get in. Now if he's offside, he's offside. But it comes out. Thank you.
Have you seen the clips of Wayne Rooney this week? He was speaking to Rio and Rashford about him going from being a number 10 or a winger or whatever, we know his kind of position, into being a number 9. He said, I hated doing it. He said, but I had to learn to be patient, to not touch the ball as much, to not want it to feet, to not want to do these things, to when I get it, to touch and lay it off. And then my job is to be in between the posts. He said, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy not being on the ball. I think that's what... I think Marcus has kind of gone away from being that. I don't think he'll ever be that. I don't think he's going to want to do that. But I think Mason's probably the next one that needs to learn how to do that. You don't need the ball to feet all the time. And when you're running on the shoulder, it's not going to happen every single time. It's just a continuation thing. And you need to, have 20, 30 touches in a game. That's what you're going to do. Look what Rude did.
Look at Rude, one of the top strikers. Now, if, stats, I'm not really into stats, just about scoring goals. But if you look at his stats, he's got about 3 goals outside the box. That's all he did.
In his whole career.
His whole career.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what does it say?
Yeah, exactly. And also, like you said about touches, think in your head, I'm sure there will be an example. Think how many times Cavani has been on the ball, gone past a man and scored. Has he even done that once?
No.
He's on the end of things. It's 1 or 2 touches. That's it. Whereas Rashford and Greenwood as well this season, because of where they're playing, a lot of their goals they have to create themselves. Greenwood mostly step over, goes past a man, puts it in, which is obviously fantastic. He can do that. But as a number 9, it's a lot more not touching the ball, tapping it in. So yeah, it's about how he's going to make that transition. I think one of the problems is because we don't have any real right wingers in the club at the moment, or people who have come through as a right winger. We play Greenwood out there, we play Dan James there sometimes as well, but Greenwood's a striker. It almost means that he kind of has to play there. Do you know people talk about Sancho maybe coming in or another winger coming in, or it might stunt Greenwood's growth? I think, if anything, it'll be better for him because he won't have to play on the right-hand side all the time. Yeah. He will be able to play at the 9.
And I think it should be like for like. So, for example, when Martial used to play, occasionally, let's not get into him, but give him 70 minutes, don't produce, then Greenwood goes in. Right?
Yeah.
If Greenwood starts, bang, then bring Martial in. Now, I think that should be the same with Cavani, that's in. But who I take a punt on? I take a punt on as a winger, but he's not right, he's left. The Harrison kid at Leeds. I've just watched him, right? I've watched him this season. His work rate's tremendous. He gets up and down, he delivers, he scores goals. Do you know what I mean? Now, does that then force Marcus over to the right, which, again, he doesn't, well, we don't know if he likes it. Fans don't like it because he doesn't seem to produce what he does when he's on the left. So what do you do then? You're in a dilemma. But there is wingers out there. If you want to, like I said, I don't know about this Sancho kid now. It's gone a bit cold on it. You know what I mean? And the price tag and etc. etc. I think if anything, when he talked about Bellingham, I was like, no chance. What for? He's 16. Are United going to give him the responsibility in the centre of the park? No, they're not.
So. No,
they're not. Suddenly he goes away to Germany. You watch him on German TV. I'm going, what? He plays for England. What? 16. Not a problem, me.
No.
I'd get him in now.
Yeah,
I'd get
him
him in
so
now.
good against City in that first leg as well.
Like
even when he came for England, he's just ridiculous.
If you're old enough, you're good enough.
Yeah.
So but it's about, you got to remember now when back in the day you bought players because they were good players. Now it's all about fitting into systems.
Yeah.
Can he do this? Can that player do that?
Yeah, there's a lot more of that. Your wingers have to do more going back as well as forward and all this kind of stuff. It's not your usual getting a striker and they're not going to do any defending. There's a lot more fitness elements to it as well. But I agree. I think someone on that right hand side, an extra winger, I think works. Even if it's someone that can kind of do a little bit of both. Even if someone that's just going to fill a gap. I think.
You know what killed us, Such and Jack? You know what should killed us? When Mourinho went in for Willian and they wanted and they said 50 million, and they went, no, we want 60, and the board didn't sanction it.
Yeah.
Perfect fit on the right there.
Done well.
Especially under Jose as well, because I don't think Willian is the right man for every manager.
No.
But Jose Mourinho knows him. He was a success at Chelsea. He's been pretty shocking at Arsenal. But this is 4 years later, isn't it? So,
exactly.
But Willian's been a good player. We got Sanchez instead, didn't we? That was the thing. We got Sanchez instead on the other side.
On the other side.
Just terrible.
But you know what? For me now, the way that we play, I think he'd fit.
I think he would have done. I think Lukaku would have done a job now and again as well. I think that there's they weren't quite right. They weren't quite there. I don't think Sanchez on that left hand side. I think he wants Marcus. He wants someone to be direct. I think he'd lost maybe half a yard of pace, Sanchez, and he wasn't as dynamic as he was.
I just think he got bored. You know,
he got bored.
I think when he first come, he was like the movement was unbelievable. There was him, there was Pogba, there was Jesse, there was Mata, and they were like pinging it about. And the movement was exciting, and we were scoring goals, and then obviously injuries and things changed, and he got bored and. Well, I'll say bored, but you obviously didn't. Then you just think to yourself, this kid doesn't go bad overnight.
No.
It's like Lukaku. Listen, we didn't buy Lukaku for his first touch. We bought him to score goals.
But the difference with Lukaku is, and if I said this a couple of weeks ago, I think if it was City that had signed Lukaku, they wouldn't have sold him. They would have just had a £65 million player playing 20 games a season. Whereas United's owners and United's the hierarchy at United, to sanction the Maguire move and the Wan-Bissaka move, we needed some money. And because Lukaku wasn't going to be first choice anymore, we're not a club that has £60 million players sat on the bench, so we had to sell him to get that money.
I mean,
if it was, look at City, like they have Mendy on the bench, they have Bernardo Silva on the bench, they have Aguero on the bench, they have Jesus on the bench. All these players were, 20, 30, 40, 50 million in the case of Mendy.
They
John
have
Stones.
always got £100 million worth of centre halves sat on the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Every week.
Whereas
we've not got that.
No,
it's about systems again. It's about systems again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, you've got to feed. What's that cliche? Feed the goat.
Yeah.
And you've got to, and he was the goat.
Yeah.
And if you've got service coming in left, right, and centre, from the left, from the right, the kid's going to score goals.
Yeah.
We see that at Inter.
Yeah,
now, come on.
Smashing it.
If you look at it, people can say, "Oh yeah, it's a crap league." Of course, it might be a crap league, but he's getting the service and he's banging it in.
You don't sign Lukaku and not have people that can cross the ball. It's a simple thing.
And I like Lukaku, and I see why he left.
Yeah, I do.
But and I think we play better football now than we did when he was there.
Yeah.
But there's no one on this table who's not going to say he's one of the best strikers in world football. Because he gets 20 plus goals every season for about 10 years now. So he's a very good player. But yeah, like I said, it's about systems, isn't it? And I think Ole obviously wanted to go a different way, and I don't think the board would have been happy with him playing 25, 30 games a season. He wanted to be number one, and United can't allow an asset like that to just sit on the bench like City can.
No. I think you're completely right. But like you say, you've got to. Now it's different. The game. Back in the day, if you were a striker and you scored goals, just get him in.
Yeah.
But now it's like you need to get. Well, can he do this? Or can he do that? And he's just like, let him go and play.
Yeah.
Rooney, how many goals did Rooney score? When the gaffer said to him, right, you're not doing this. Like you just said, you're not doing this. You're doing
gonna
that.
be number 9.
You're staying in the box.
30
You're playing
goals.
number 9.
We had 2 seasons in a row where we hit 25 plus.
Enough said, isn't it?
Having not been that kind of player for his entire time, Ronaldo left. I think Berbatov got injured, and he just went, right, we're going to play Nani there, Valencia there, you're going up top there, 4-3-3, go and score us 30 goals.
Look at the systems. Look at what systems. Falco. So Falco, before he came to United, was that something like, was about the 4th best in Europe all time goal scoring. Now, yeah, all right, he might have been a bit knackered, but again, that's about systems. Give him the ball, put the ball in for him. But Di Maria was exactly the same, but playing him in the wrong system. 1 minute he played him on this side, then he played him on the next side, and you're like, and because they're so precious, these ballers now. They are, man. They're so precious. I don't want to play there. I'm not. Okay, come on. We talked about Martial briefly. What's his problem?
I don't know. It's an odd one with Martial because it seemed like he got what he wanted, which is you're going to play through the middle. You're going to get your number 9 shirt back. This is all going to happen.
How can you have a goal route, right? Not scoring, then he scored 2 in the game and not even celebrate.
No.
Well, I think that's just his style, isn't it? That's his persona and his way of doing things is a bit more almost like kind of like Berbatov way of doing things, where it's like I like to do things casually. I like to do things.
Damn it!
I'm not saying they're the same quality. I'm just saying
personality-wise,
people would have said to Berbatov,
but
"Oh, he's not bothered."
Yeah, but he'd celebrate.
He would, but sometimes he'd celebrate like that and just throwing his hands up in his shoulders.
But they were so good, man.
Yeah, he was, and again, Berbatov scored a lot more goals than Martial has. But what I mean is, I think it's just a style, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. If you think about it, right, the players that we've had, he would have kicked on and produced.
Yeah,
would be where we are now. all right, we got progression, haven't we? So if you look at it chronologically, so third last year, second this year, next year, what?
First.
It's only got to be that, hasn't it?
It's got to be. Has to be now.
We've got a super chat from Andrew. Get your super chats in. We'll make sure we read them out. He said, do you think the overemphasis on systems has resulted in the decline of the level of football?
Yeah.
No more Ronaldinhos, R9s, Zidane's kicking about anymore. I do think that, but there are still top players knocking about, though, but maybe not quite that go out and enjoy yourself type mentality that these sort of like superstar talents used to have.
That's a great point the kid's made there. That's a great point, because the systems, right, dictate exactly how your teams play.
Yeah.
No, it's well documented with me. You know that I was a Jose man, right? If you give Jose the money, the resources, right, he would have strengthened our back four, right? Things would have been different. But you can't, like I said to you before, you can't extend his contract halfway through his tenure, promise him X, and then you give him Y. Because he's going to spit his dummy out. Because the two best coaches at that time, in terms of defence, was what? Jose, and defence, Pep.
Yeah.
Whoever gets them is going to get the other one. But it's about, like the kid said, as the systems change the way that the game is, and it has, because now it's all like, ooh, let's keep possession. You can have possession as much as you want. You can make 55 passes and saying on the stats go, oh, well, United have had 87 point whatever possession. Have we scored? Where's the end product?
I think you summed it up there talking about Pep and Jose. We talked about what Pep's done since he's been at City. He signed Laporte. He signed John Stones. There was no outrage when he signed Laporte, where he signed Ruben Diaz and Ake. He's now signed 4 centre halves. He signed left backs. He's replaced another one. He signed Kyle Walker 50 million. Replaced him with Cancelo. He's signed centre midfielders and replaced them, and he's kept going. He signed wingers and brought more wingers in. You look what happened with Jose there. He signed Bailly and Lindelof, and then no, we can't have another centre half. You've signed 2. They've not worked. We're not doing that. Yeah, and I think that's the reason he never got success, because you just need to keep doing it. Give him another player. That's where City have gone so well. You just go, okay, we'll give you another one. We'll give you another winger.
You talk about he wanted 2 players in every position. City have got 3, possibly 4. Like I say, okay, why didn't we go in for him? Why didn't we get him at that time? Because for me, I just think he's regressed. I think
he's sat on the bench.
So he's not playing, and he plays every now and again, and he's not sharp. Do you know what I mean? But at the time when he was available, we could have got him. I think Jose, and he knows he made a mistake, because he looked at Bailly, he's looked at Lindelof, thinking in the Portuguese league they're doing well. You know, too many players come here and it's like, oh. Now, I don't know whether or not it's too big for Lindelof and Bailly.
Well, they're playing together tonight. Obviously, Harry Maguire, the normal sort of mainstay in that team, not available. What are your thoughts on Harry Maguire and those two as a partnership together today, looking forward ahead to the game? What are your thoughts on that for today's game?
Well, again, you know, you've just got to go back with pre-Maguire when them two played. You know, and there's always a red card in Bailly. There's always a red card in... Yep. This is a game again where, you know, I can imagine that dressing room, it's hyper now because they want to smash him. They want to smash him. Do you know what I mean? And is his first tackle going to be a yellow? And then straight away we're under pressure, aren't we? Lindelof, again, decision-making can be great and it can be crap. You know, you see it the other week when he's knocked a, you know, great 30, 50-yard ball for Rashford, and then you're thinking, and then the next minute he does something really bizarre. You're going, I just think at them times, Jose realised that they weren't good enough, like you just said, and wanted more, and you know, the board have gone no. So then it goes pear-shaped with the fans.
Yeah. Do you like Maguire?
I think he's tremendous.
Yeah.
I think you know, this kid gets slated, right? He gets slated. I'm saying to you now, if you get someone alongside him who can play, what's the kid at Inter, that Matthias De Ligt
at Juve.
Juve, sorry.
Yeah.
Mate, but the problem is who's his agent?
Raiola.
Raiola, yeah. It's not going to happen.
So it's not going to happen, is it?
No.
So if you get someone, for me, with Harry Maguire, quality, I'm a bit disappointed that for the chances that he gets from a corner, he doesn't score as many.
He is frustrated.
It's frustrating
in the fact
like
that he doesn't.
He wins every header.
He wins every header.
This is what I mean. Offensively and defensively, he wins everything, doesn't he? But I like him, mate. Just get him alongside with someone who can play a bit.
Because he steps out so well. He's done that all through his career. He heads the ball. He commands things well. I think there's a little bit. He's not. The thing is, people have seen Van Dijk and Diaz, and I think that they are very, very good centre-halves, and the way they command things, the way they do it at both ends of the pitch, the way that they're always attacking headers, and they kind of look a bit more flashy than Harry Maguire. They've got a bit more pace. But I think if you took that price tag away from Harry Maguire and just had him as another player, he's up there. He's probably the third best centre-half in the league.
Yeah,
comfortably.
I would say so. We've got a couple of super chats. AK says if Juve don't get Champions League spot, which at the minute they're like struggling to get top 4, let alone, I mean, they're not won the title, Inter have won it. Do you think Ronaldo to United would be a good signing, or will he screw up our team balance? First of all, can we imagine just for a second the idea that Cristiano Ronaldo might be playing in the Europa League next season? That's not happening, is it? I can't see him staying there if they don't get top 4. He's got like probably 2 years left at the top. He's not playing the Europa League.
But you know, from what's the word I'm looking for? Narcissistic point of view, because he is, whether they like it or not, in terms of football.
I'll win another one.
There you go.
He probably would.
I'll win the Europa.
He's probably Jose. Yeah, he's like
everything, mate.
Similar mindset to Jose. I'll just win it.
Look at this kid. When this kid retires, you know what I mean? I don't know if we've got time, but that Hall of Fame shenanigans, which is just doing my head right in. Right.
I don't even like it in the first place, to be honest.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke. You know what I mean? So Shearer, all right, leading goal scorer, take 70 goals away. Who's the leading goal scorer? Andy Cole. You take 70 penalties away off Shearer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Henry, what? No Rooney. No Giggs. Are you having a laugh? So you can imagine Ronaldo, if he's a Hall of Fame, when he just sits back and goes, well, he'd fill all this full space, wouldn't it?
With
what he's won.
Trophies.
With his trophies, you know what I mean? But, so for him to be in the Europa, he might just think, well, I'm just chilling. I'll win it, and then...
I don't think he comes to United. I think there's something has to happen.
I don't think he should.
I think there'd be something... Him coming back in now, the pressure he'd be under as that kind of player... I think that the pressure for him to deliver, if he doesn't score 100 goals, and if he doesn't score 20 goals next season, it would taint it. It would
I
just
would
be...
fucking love it if he came.
Oh, I would.
No, listen,
I would
love it.
But he's not going to be.
He's got 27 goals in 30 league games for Juve this season.
I know.
He's still...
It's not what he was.
Yes, but Ashley Young's doing all right in Inter Milan.
He's not doing like that, though, is he?
Yeah, listen, if Ashley Young can do well, mate, we could do well. Listen, but at the end of the day, listen, you're right there. What would be the pressure on Ronaldo, man, to come back? He's not as Zlatan. We don't know. He's not Larson.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Cavani. This is, you know
he's
what I mean?
not Henry at 40 that's just coming in to play 3 games. No, he's going to want. He's going to be like, give me that number 7 shirt.
It'd be
I'm
great.
starting there.
It'd be great if he did.
Cavani.
If he didn't score, you'd be getting grief, wouldn't
he? It would. Steve Rowbottom says, long-time watcher from Canada. Love your channel. Hope this is enough to buy around for you boys. Thank you very much. It is, mate. I don't know how much for a pint over there, but I hope this gets you started. Cheers for all the great content. Yeah, thank you very much.
Can I just say, I was in Canada, 2 years ago, right, and they've got their own pub in Toronto. I don't know if he's from Toronto, the lad, but they've got United supporters. But it's great. Yeah. Mate, I went I watched United Everton. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
All Canadians, mate, massive.
I'd love to go to Canada. Dare Taylor said, "What do you make of the rumours of us signing Tom Heaton? I know he's coming in to replace Romero, but do you think it's a sign, that De Gea could be going?" I just think it's United need another goalkeeper. We've got Romero that's desperate to leave, and I'm certain he'll leave in the summer. We've got De Gea who might leave. We kind of need someone in there.
I'm a bit biased because I know him very well.
I was going to say
he was there, and I tell you what. So much potential, and if it wasn't for him dislocating his shoulder about 3 years ago, when he was literally on the verge of going in England #1 spot, easy, dislocated shoulder, very, very difficult for a keeper to recover from that.
Yeah.
He's a great keeper and also a top lad. So yeah, I'd love to see him back there, but it's whether or not, what would he be? Would he be #2?
Well, it depends, isn't it? Because if Romero and De Gea go, he might be.
Why have we not? I'll tell you what's infuriated me.
Go on.
What a bad deal he's got with Romero. Come on. They've treated him abysmally.
Yeah, but is he getting 70 grand a week?
No. So, mate, has that kid ever let us down?
No.
He's never let us down in any competition.
I think they should have treated him with a bit more respect.
Oh, come on, man. He's Argentina's #1 keeper for a start. Do you know what I mean? The kid, I just think, you're having a joke.
Yeah, they should have let him go. I don't know why they didn't.
I think the big thing was that Everton were the ones that came in for him, and they went, at that point, this season, at the start of it all, they went, Everton have got a decent team here, and they might be challenging us for whatever it is, top four.
They're our feeder team, mate. They're our feeder team.
Don't give them that.
You're going to disrespect the team that gave us Morgan Schneider.
Yeah, come on, mate.
We gave them to.
We're their feeder team, actually. Vicario95 said, Lindelof gets too much stick. We play 2 CDMs and blame him for everything. Fred and McTominay are not doing a job at CDM for me. I think that's a different matter, isn't it? Because I agree that they're probably not good enough overall, but when he loses an aerial duel or he tries to put a tackle.
I understand what you're saying, because like you said, the pressure's on him.
Yeah.
So if the pressure's on certain players, they get scrutinised a lot more.
Yeah.
And the price tag is that, isn't it? And and because of that, at the moment, undecided what's the best, central two in the back four. So I understand what the kid's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Ross Murphy, apparently Giggs would have been in on the Hall of Fame, but obviously the off the field stuff that's going on at the minute.
It's nothing to do with it.
No, but I can see why, from the perspective of the Hall of Fame, they kind of went, let's hold back.
No. Sorry.
I like how.
Maybe not get into that too much, shall we?
I like how Rio came out, because obviously Steve does Rio's podcast, and Rio kind of said, look, he said, there's a lot of people on that list that have done a lot off the field.
Correct.
And he said, me included.
Correct.
Forget everything that's happened.
Correct.
I think he dodged the person he wanted to attack or say something about on there. But he said he said, look, I've done some stuff. I got banned, whatever, and all this kind of thing. If I'm on that list, Ryan Giggs should certainly be on that list.
Well,
he is.
Hold on, they got John Terry on, a racist.
Well, that was
enough said, innit?
That was the person.
Enough said, innit?
Yeah, that was the one that, again, that was the one he kind of scouted around and didn't say it. But that's the same. If John Terry can make it on that list, there's no reason why Ryan Giggs should be on there. And saying, well, that's worse than that.
What was Maradona's off pitch antics like? Hey, Maradona? Come on, mate.
Steve Rowbottom says, and yes, the bar in Toronto is called the Main Event. Been there many times watching games and getting pissed. So he's
top man, mate.
Yeah,
great place.
There's some fantastic. There's loads of pubs across the world that do top for watching football.
Mate, if you ever get a chance, honestly, Canada is just unbelievable. It's a great place to go.
There's some top pubs in the States that just did, United pubs, Liverpool pubs, or whatever, that just are full of people that have lived over there or whatever, and it's a quality place to watch the game.
That's who we should have in. That's how we should have in.
Just shouting, even just as anything, just being
just
there.
as number two. Well, you know what? Just as a motivator.
Yeah. Zachary Purvis with the super chat said, how are the protests going? Just got off work in the USA and haven't seen anything. Also, who's your favourite all-time United defender? Mine's Rio. The protests were, entirely peaceful as far as I could see. Well, they were not quite the same turnout as last time. Part of that down to the fact that it's a Thursday night, not a weekend. All these things totting up. There was a report, or there was one of the Liverpool buses, which there seemed to have been like decoys and multiple buses that they thought had the team in, was stopped by a couple of cars, had the tyres slashed, that kind of thing. But that's the latest on that. They did get into the ground. The teams are coming out now. We've got 5 minutes. We've actually, speaking of how the protest went, we've got a very rude person behind the camera pulling all sorts of gestures. Jay Motti has been down at the protest until about 10 minutes or so ago. So the perfect question came in from Zachary Purvis. How are the protests going? Well, what happened, Jay?
First of all, hello, Mr. Dwyland. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure. It was good, man. It was just what we wanted in terms of, like, you were there earlier on as well.
I was there as well, but you...
Decent crowd there, lots of flares, lots of chanting. All outside the ground, outside the forecourt, near where the Munich tunnel is, but not as far back as that. So further back. And then we all moved. I thought we were being moved on by the police because I was like in the middle of the crowd, didn't see what was going on. But apparently it was a concerted effort by the fans to go down to where the coaches come in, because there was rumours going around that the coaches hadn't arrived yet, or the Liverpool coach had been stopped by cars, but it transpired that wasn't the case. It was a decoy coach, I think. So we went down there. Again, it was, everyone was having a good laugh. It was loads of singing and chanting, and it was all in good spirits. And then we went from there back to the front of the ground, where there was, again, it wasn't the same amount of people that was there the other night, but I think I just heard you touching on it. It's Thursday night, whatever reason, different. It's not bank holiday, childcare,
also,
whatever.
We've been seeing for about 3 or 4 days now, and they probably could have done it last night if they'd wanted to. But these barricades, these fences around Old Trafford, they really put the PR of, we're ready for this on Thursday. Yeah. We're not going to just leave it till the last minute. They wanted everyone to know, if you're thinking about coming down and causing trouble, well, we've had these barricades up for 4 days.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that, Trev, because I think Gary Neville was talking about it. What do you make of that, seeing those barricades at Old Trafford, things like that?
It's obscene, isn't it? I just think it's completely obscene. And just like, again, we thought it's about fitting others' narrative and takes away what we are from Manchester United. Yeah. So it's like, every other fan can protest. Every other fan can protest. Now, they might say we went a bit further because they weren't on the pitch. But like I said before, direct action had to be taken. I don't condone the violence. Just gone and sat on the pitch. just going to sat on the pitch, silent protest.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what they've done is then it's like, all right, it's Man United. This is in the 70s. 70s, 80s, you know what I mean? When they all used to kick off proper.
Yeah.
You had Leeds and Liverpool fans demonstrating together the other week. Do you know what I mean? No, but I'm not saying it could happen now, but do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that
so
shows
all of a sudden it's like,
the ridiculousness
the
of
Glazers again, let's put some... That's the most extension they've done to the ground since they've been in there, mate.
Wow.
It's a disgrace.
It's nice to see him spending a bit of money.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you see the pictures? I think it was Paul Hurst, tweeted it on Tuesday night. He's in the press box with his plugs and everything, with water dripping down. Yeah. I've been to like, you know, I don't know, Tranmere and no disrespect to them, but you know, lower league clubs, Altrincham, and not seen that.
No.
But you know, but it kills me. I'm sorry, I don't know who organised all this, but surely they should realise there's only one way in for the coaches at United. Surely, it's over the bridge. What you just. I'm not advocating that they do it, but you just block the road off, don't you?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of like decoys and making them think that there was still something there.
But the amount of decoys, but whether you like it or not, there's only one way
you're right.
in.
If you stop that way,
there's only one way.
They're not parking up outside the mega store, are they?
You're not going. You can't get in.
You don't come down St. Busby Way anymore.
No, that's it. You're right.
So I don't understand.
But they went from what I was chatting there, and some people were saying, you know how the normal way they come in
from Trafford. You've got to go through Trafford Park,
but they went right round the other side. Do you know where? Because I didn't even know you could get through there, but apparently you can.
Where all the car parks are?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. That's what someone was saying to me.
You can't.
I didn't think you could.
The only way you get off, you know what you got to do.
I'm not going to argue with you about that.
The players, if you park your bus on the next road, you've got to walk over the bridge.
Right.
And go into the players' entrance.
They ain't doing that.
The cars come in from Trafford Park over the ramp. I mean, there you go there, because obviously that's where I come in, do you know what I mean? And every 10 yards, there's a security guard. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't, anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? Just a quick one. Can we do it? Can we mention this Trevor Sinclair?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, please do.
Is he on drugs? Because I'm asking you this, right? If he doesn't know, right, that the Premiership in their AGM in 2011 stated any registered player within the squad of 25 can play.
Yeah.
What's he on about?
Well, you know what is embarrassing for me about that?
What has he said, by the way?
Trevor Sinclair said that after we put out the resis
off, by the way,
on Tuesday night, that we should have been docked at least 6 points. Not just lose the game, but we should have been docked 6 points. Now, this was on TalkSport, which I know some people around this table do appear on TalkSport now and again, and I understand that, but I think it's shit station, personally, talk shite. Yep. And he was saying this, and like Simon Jordan, you know it's bad gear when Simon Jordan's the voice of reason, was saying basically all he can pick a team and it's his prerogative sort of thing. Jim White, who was the presenter, equally as clueless. But what amazed me was he said, Simon Jordan said, have the rules not changed then? Because he was saying about the time Wolves got fined. Remember years
Holloway.
ago? Yeah, Holloway.
Mick McCarthy.
Yeah, he was saying like, have the rules not changed? Now, you know, we have a producer in our race. Surely someone could have Googled that.
Exactly.
And also, when you think, actually, look at the team we put out. The only people making Elanga was the only person making his debut for United. I know Diallo hadn't played in the league yet, but he's played multiple times for United this season.
Mate.
Van der Beek's played 30 times.
That's why we've got a squad. That's why teams have a squad.
The under 18s. It was.
Man's an idiot, and he talks about due diligence. Yeah, you've done yours, mate. Anyway, forget him.
Yeah, Matt G says
energy gone.
Apologies if I've already covered this, but what's Trev's opinion on who United's summer priorities should be in terms of transfers?
Well, look at me dad laughing here outside of me.
Here we go.
My dad laughing outside because he knows. Thanks for the question, my mate. But having worked at the club for many, many years, I shall quote the great man, Sir Alex Ferguson: "Do not bother with speculation, son. Right? Until you see him in a red shirt, then he's a United player."
So you haven't even got anyone that you want us to sign, let alone who you're going to.
Who want us to sign? He loves to sign Messi.
Perfect.
He does it. I've been trying.
No, we talked about briefly, haven't we? We've talked about briefly.
Yeah,
they tried to get me on it. I would get that Harrison. I like that Harrison from Leeds. I like
really?
him. Yeah, I like it. I like his work rate. I like his technically. Harrison. Technically very, very good. He gets up and down and provides service. Oh, unlucky ball. But yeah. Anyway, crack on.
Oh, hello.
Hey up. Oh,
defending that.
Handball.
That hit his hand, didn't it? That hit by his hand, that. Was it Luke Shaw gave the ball
But maybe
away?
the way, look. Oh, you can't give that.
Through his legs?
You can't give that.
That's harsh.
Through his legs?
You can't give that.
Surely not.
No, I don't think they can. I think because it goes through his legs like that.
No, and he doesn't even know where it is. We've seen a little bit more sense on a few of these in the last couple of weeks where they check him, it does hit the hand, but because there's no intent, nothing, they don't give a penalty.
There was one with Mason one day at the weekend.
Yeah.
Where it's his hand and they were like, no. I mean, that would be ridiculous.
I don't think they've given it. I'd wait till they've taken the corner before we... Yeah, no penalty there. Corner ball, though. Good header there, won by Scott McTominay. Aaron Keaveney says, United fan from Ireland, these owners either pretend we don't exist or treat us like dangerous criminals. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much of a middle ground, does it, with the owners?
Well done, lad.
But yeah, I'm glad. Imagine that was a penalty straight away. It's good that that's not. But
someone asked the question before. He said, "Who's the best defender?"
Oh yes, we didn't answer that. Who's the best defender you've seen?
Paul McGrath.
Who's the best defender you've ever seen?
Paul McGrath.
I'm not comment on your age, but my dad says something similar usually. But I don't remember him.
It's a generational thing.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I only saw him briefly.
Mate, he was Rio and Vidic in one.
Wow.
That's how special that kid was. That's how special that kid was, mate.
That sounds like the best defender ever.
Oh, superb, mate.
I would say Rio because
really,
because I think he's better than Vidic. He's more well-rounded than Vidic. He had more years at the top than Vidic. You could put him in any team in the world, even now. Whereas I think
but in about different styles, our kid.
Of course, they're different styles.
You know what I mean?
But I think that Vidic.
You never see Rio with the ball, did you? I don't think I did.
I've never seen slide tackle anymore.
No.
But I was a bit too young to fully appreciate Jaap Stam.
He's mine.
Oh, yeah.
He's mine.
Tremendous.
He's mine, mate. All day long.
I was 7, 8 and 9, so I didn't
worst decision Fergie ever made, that selling him.
He's only 7, Dad. You look out, eh?
No, let's go round, hasn't it? I was saying about Paul McGrath, giving you too young for that, mate. And then he's done me. He's done me with the old
but yeah, I mean, 3 pretty good choices.
It's always a good one, that, because when people go, oh, the greatest player you've ever seen, and I go, you can't say, you should be able to say Pele, but you.
Oh! Come on!
Oh! Good God.
Ball given away straight to Cavani by Alisson there, and he's just facing the wrong way, hits it on the spin, and just shanks it wide.
Did he have time or did he have to shoot when he did?
El Matador.
I think he
just fucked it up. It's just a bad shot, innit?
He would have gone the other side, wouldn't he? Yeah. I think probably
he could have had
he saw him coming across.
Should have been a goal there.
Listen, he's done that. He's done that a few times this season.
How many times did he do it against City the other month?
Did he about 8 times? Did he one?
Ridiculous.
Back to me again.
Yeah. There was about a 15-minute spell where he made honestly half a dozen horrific mistakes.
Come on, that lad.
Poor.
Who's that? Bailly.
Yeah.
He's give it away.
Yeah. Another thing, it's only a small thing, but Lindelof as well has to play on the left when Bailly's playing because he plays on the right with Maguire, doesn't he? So it's a slight positional change for him as well. Because he puts those balls down the right-hand side. You know, the ones he's played to Rashford a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's on the other side now.
Stand up.
Salah. Thiago.
He's offside, isn't he?
Unnecessarily lofted ball there from Thiago.
Didn't
What do you think? I mean, like I said, I don't really consider myself with other teams and players, but with him, when you saw him play abroad, you think, oh, he's got a bit. I just think, he just come to kick people.
Thiago?
Yeah.
He's
just a spoiler, isn't he?
It's weird because I rated him at
I still do.
I rated him.
And to be honest with you, I think you're right. I think you said it the other day. I think it's not suited to him the way they play. No. And a lot of them were kicking off the other week because when he drew with Newcastle, I think Klopp brought him off. They were winning. Klopp brought him off.
Yeah.
And Newcastle equalised. And they're like, why has he done that? It's like, it's like he doesn't know how to use him.
No, he's good. He's great on the ball, but again, like we said the other day, he
made him work for that, didn't
he? He works better in a system where the team hold the ball for long periods and make runs off of that, whereas Liverpool like to win the ball quickly, get the ball in the box quickly, and he doesn't necessarily do that. But he still plays every week for him, so I don't.
Common denominator tonight's show: systems.
Systems, yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Is that the theme?
Systems.
Yeah, it's not the it's a system.
Rainwater systems.
Right, okay.
My mate works in them.
Does it? Right, okay. Good lad.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Lloyd.
Shout out to Lloyd. Big shout out.
Doing some rainwater systems and that.
I got a quick shout out to one of a good acquaintance of mine. Unfortunately, he was getting ready to go down to the protest. I got a phone call before he got in here. I don't know. Heart attack.
Oh, you're joking?
Died, mate.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Unbelievable, mate. What? Chris Kelly, big Man United fan, massive Man United fan from Disbury, mate. And I got a call. I was on the tram and my mate rang. He said, I've got some bad news. I went, oh, don't tell me. I can't be bringing any more bad news. He went, yeah, Chris. I went, what, Chris Kelly? I went, what? I was getting ready to go to the protest. Our other mate went to pick him up, got there, paramedics were there. Sad.
Thoughts with his family, obviously.
He'll be having a pint with Bestie, you know.
Yeah.
Bestie was his boy, you know what I mean?
Terrible. Ben with a super chat as well, he said, who do you think is the most underrated United player of all time?
Of all time?
He said, well, of our time, of the time you've seen.
Well, that with Trevor, that covers from sort of
the
Billy Meredith era.
The Newton Heath days.
That's basically the entire history of United covered.
Billy Meredith.
He said for Ben it'd be Antonio Valencia.
Oh, topical. He's just retired.
Yeah, I'm not with that. A bit clickbaiting that.
Clickbait. The most underrated player of all time.
I'll say Valencia.
He was a good player. I mean, he wouldn't be my choice. Do you know who I'm going to go with? Right?
Can I guess?
I'm going to go with.
Oh, go on, no, you.
And
Remy Moses.
Remy Moses was mint. I remember him as a kid, but I think he's underrated by United fans.
Right.
Owen Hargreaves.
Oh.
I knew it. Right. There's two that are underrated by United fans that shouldn't be. Right. One's Paul Ince and one's Owen Hargreaves.
I think the reason why Ince is because unfortunately he wanted to be. Oh, it's a good ball.
No, he's done well there. Bruno.
Oh yes!
Bruno with the
Claiming
outside of the
claiming
foot.
that
Yeah,
one.
of course, that was going in. Who's that? Who stuck it in the back of his own net?
Phillips in it.
Is it Phillips?
Oh man, he's
Bruno.
getting hammered him, isn't he?
Wan-Bissaka to Bruno.
Last
Bruno
night, some kid against you on Twitter
kills it.
was talking about Phillips one. Was it you?
Yeah, he was saying
about Phillips
liability and all that.
Oh no, it was my mate. Hitman.
No, it was someone today. It was chatting to was saying about him. One of the lads from the Anfield Rap was saying.
But tell you what, to be fair,
well done.
Pogba's done well. I thought he was going to cross it, but can't check
Wan-Bissaka,
back.
he does really well.
Yeah.
And then Bruno he's just curling it.
That's a finish. That's
hard to know. Yeah.
Look at
Allison. Mate, he's got no chance.
Look at Cavani. You can't see from here.
Right.
We just see Cavani looks to the gods. You know.
That's one of them where you go.
Yeah, wait, you can see Cavani and I watch.
What's Cavani?
Yes. Getting good start that from United. I wonder if that'll go down as Bruno's because it's one of them where I reckon if you followed the trajectory of the ball,
it's not Bruno's that.
But at the moment it was deflected.
On
it
goal.
Probably wasn't on target. Yeah,
He's only a goal off Lampard's record as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
For the most Premier League goals by a midfielder in a season.
Interesting that. Great finish by the defender.
Or most goals
Cavani would have been proud of that.
Yeah. By
underrated players. I'll tell you who's vastly
Mr.
underrated.
Looking down your nose at me with Owen Hargreaves.
I'll tell you who's vastly underrated.
Go on.
Park.
He was, but
Vastly.
But the problem with that now is he's the go-to guy for underrated.
Him and
Carrick are the ones like, and you're right. At the time, he was underrated. Didn't even make the squad in 2008.
Oh,
did he?
brilliant by Fred there.
Mate.
Really good footwork.
Oh, good ball! Oh,
Marcus was
offside.
Off. He knew.
Yeah, I think by now
at the time he was.
Carrick and Park have
but
been
now
rated properly.
people go. Actually,
it was very good. Yeah,
I'll tell you, who's not talked of, and he should be talked of a lot.
Go on.
He was just one of the best left backs we ever had.
Heinze.
Dennis Irwin.
Dennis
Irwin, right, was a right back at Oldham. Came in, bang, left back. Probably seen him have one bad game.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, when you're a gentleman, oh my God, one of the nicest guys in football. But what a player! What great.
Obviously, what was it? 560 odd games he played for United.
Knowledge there,
incredible. That might not be true, but I think it's over 500 certainly. Not on the same scale at all, but a player who I always loved, despite him being a bit of a fringe player. Obviously, injuries and stuff got in the way. Louis Saha was, when fit, I think a really good player.
No,
not on the same,
man.
not on the same scale as Dennis. He's not a United legend. You know, Dennis Irwin's a United legend.
Yeah.
Louis Saha was just one of the people that no one would think of, but I used to really like him.
He's
not the most underrated player ever.
Dropped an eyelash and was out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
What an eyelash it was.
Louis Saha was great, yeah. But honestly, in a one-on-one between Louis Saha or you, I'd choose you.
How dare you?
No, mate, he's overrated.
He was good.
Overrated?
He was good.
Overrated.
He was good.
Overrated.
But on the one-on-ones, he used to kill me sometimes. Like, he was a good player, though. Very two-footed as well.
Dare Taylor with a good comment. Wes Brown and John O'Shea.
Wes Brown.
Quality. I'm paired of him.
Paired of him, actually, yeah. Pair of legends.
Legends.
Ronnie Johnson, another one, I think.
Legends. And Berg.
Yeah.
Mate, they were the times, man. Iceman.
Yeah.
I interviewed him when he was at Blackburn.
Did you?
You know, he's the highest paid manager ever.
Who is?
Henning Berg.
Top.
Because they sacked him after 9 games or something and had to pay his full contract. So if you do it per game, because he was on a massive contract, because it was the Venkies when they lost their minds.
Listen, that squad then in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like I said, you asked me before about how things have changed, you know what I mean? I worked then. You just look at the quality of players and people coming in. And, you know, I've said it before with me, I am very, very pro-British, right? I'm very, very pro-British, and I don't have a problem with foreigners coming in. But, you know, the foreigners for me should be world-class. They should be world-class and world-class only, not potential. They should be world-class, which gives our kids more opportunity to develop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So them days there, you know what I mean, class of 92, other kids coming in. And then we bought foreigners. We bought Klinchelskis, and we bought Eric, and we bought Schmeichel to add to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, well.
Do you know someone who I think is underrated, even though they're still rated very highly, but I don't think they're rated highly enough? And we did just speak about him. Well, let's see.
You say Ince?
No, I was too young to see Ince. Salad as well there, but good block by Luke Shaw. I think Wayne Rooney's underrated.
I agree.
Legend.
The
Do you know what?
They
You're
say
right.
about him is
You're
that he
right.
didn't live up to his potential. How could he have lived up to his potential anymore? He's England's top goal scorer, United's top goal scorer, the only player to get 200 goals and 100 assists, or 100 goals and 100 assists, sorry, in the Premier League history. And people act like, oh, he didn't live up to his potential. Of course
we
he did.
We said that about this Hall of Fame crap.
Don't get me started.
That's what we said. We touched on it briefly.
On that, mate.
Wayne Rooney, right? What people aren't recognising here, Wayne Rooney has been on that level since he was 16 years of age. 16 years of age, that kid produced great games and continued to do that consistently.
Yeah.
And for him to not get appreciated as it is,
no. Do you know what it is?
It's a disgrace.
No. Because I made this point, and someone was saying that because he was still registered at Derby a year ago, he couldn't qualify.
He wasn't eligible.
What do you mean?
I'm not disputing the fact he should have been in there, but apparently...
What do you mean he wasn't eligible?
Because
it's
you
a Premier League.
Because he hadn't been retired
You
for
have
long
to be
enough.
retired from professional football.
Because theoretically, he could come
that's
back and
why
play for the
Ronaldo
Premier
can't
League team now.
be in it. Or...
I get what you're saying.
He's scowling at me like I've done something wrong.
No, I get what you're saying. No, not you. I was
He
the criteria.
looked at me like he's ready to get up and
I'm sorry, Dad.
You went...
No, it's the criteria, isn't it? He just thinks he's out.
Because I went on a rant on Twitter, and then someone went, actually, he's not qualified. He's not eligible. I was fucking delete
You
that.
let it there, yeah. No, Rooney.
Delete
You're
that one,
right,
then.
mate. Rooney, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Why has he not got a statue?
Mate,
outside Wembley. Do you have a joke?
Yeah.
Still Stanley Matthews, hasn't he?
It's Bobby Moore, isn't it?
Bobby Moore is the big one.
Well,
Yeah, no,
how
yeah.
many sides to Wembley?
Exactly.
So you could have a
Mate,
statue on
if
each
he
side.
was an Arsenal player, they'd have named a stadium after him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You win a title at Arsenal, you get a statue. Don't
I
you?
think the problem with Rooney is, and as everyone knows, some of the off-the-field stuff in terms of it never felt like Man United was his true love, did it? I think that's what let him down a bit in terms of how he was
like I said,
treated.
I'm sorry, I can't agree with it. I just don't agree with it.
I want to get your take on this though, Trevor, because I remember when Rooney he wouldn't sign his deal and he said that he felt we weren't doing enough in the transfer market and all that sort of stuff. What did you make of that?
I was disgusted.
Yeah.
And you know, if I'm honest, you know what I mean? I never cheered his name after that.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. Listen, I applaud his goals because he was a United player and he scored for my team.
Yeah.
Right? But you've got to be a buffoon if you don't recognise the kid. You know me on my anti-racism stance, right?
Yeah.
I cannot stand Suarez.
Yeah.
I cannot stand him. But you've got to look on the other side and go, but he was a top striker. Right?
Yeah.
That's where your intellect comes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you look at Rooney and you go, he held us to ransom. Yeah, that was disgraceful. But of what he achieved for us, he was integral for our success.
It's weird with Rooney, right? He's the only player as well, because I looked up this, he's had 3 different players alongside him who finished Premier League top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to recognise his
Ronaldo,
achievements.
Van Persie, Berbatov, all won the Golden
And that's
Boot.
not a coincidence, is it?
And in that season they won it, we won the title as well, and he was their strike partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rooney's just
versatile.
quality. Mate.
Yeah.
He should be recognised there. He should be, you know,
I
I
think
mean, outside of Jimmy Murphy. I think Jimmy Murphy's statue should be outside the school, outside the players' entrance. Actually,
Yeah.
I think that's where it should be, in that little space there. That's where
Have you
Jimmy
said
Murphy's.
where that's
No,
going?
I hope it's a decent place. Like Trevor's saying, I hope it's not like.
I think it should be right outside the players' entrance. Me that,
Because I know he's got.
you know, that space there when they come over the bridge there.
Adrian says Chicharito is so underrated, even though he was loved.
Yeah. You know what?
I like Chicharito.
And well, I'll give him that. Yeah, he was a super stud, wasn't he? But yeah, he's probably underrated.
It was weird the way he left, wasn't it, Chicharito? Because it was like he was only young, wasn't he, when Van Gaal came in?
Yeah.
And then it was like, he just didn't rate him.
He was never a 90-minute man, was he?
No.
He was never a 90-minute man.
I think Solskjaer was underrated as a player as well. I think he's a really good player, and people just
dismiss.
Tapped it in one game. He got 100 goals for United.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He was a really good striker.
You know what? I always remember the best ever for him. But you knew he had the United DNA, and he was playing the last game, and when he got sent off, he ran like 100 metres. Newcastle, yeah.
Rob Lee won it.
Rob Lee.
Remember?
He just wellered him, mate. He was going 1-on-1, and he sprinted Ollie 100 metres. And just went bang, and then didn't even wait for the ref. Just walked off.
He just literally.
But
it's
the
a
crowd,
right sprint, innit?
Oh.
Mate, it's like from the edge of our box to the edge of their box, and it's only Ollie that goes for it, innit?
That's
like Rob Lee's through.
That's what
clears
him out. For me, you can forget.
Red straight away.
That's what cemented him as a United legend.
I remember Beckham was like patting him on the back, wasn't he? Patting him on the back. He's like, "Well done, good lad." Yeah. He said, "I seen an interview with him, and he said like, did Fergie give you credit for it? Like when you got in the change room?" He said, "No, he went mad."
Good. I like that. Great cross from Pogba, and Rashford didn't really get anything on it, did he? Cavani out to McTominay. United have sort of soaked up pressure quite well.
Yeah.
We've done a decent job of, when Liverpool have got the ball in their defence, we press him well, and then we kind of drop back off them, don't we, a little bit, and allow them to have the ball.
You guys will know, they have to get something from this game tonight.
They have to not lose. But a draw is as good, at 1 point. If they draw this, they probably won't get top 4. They probably won't anyway. But if we beat them, they can't get top 4.
Would it be fun? Oh, mate. But you know what would be funny if they didn't even get Europa?
I want them to get Europa, mate.
Well, even if they don't, they'll get Europa League Conference. So they're going to be in Europe.
No, that's actually good. Yeah,
that'd be funny.
Let them have that.
Playing against Bristol City or something.
No, but you know what makes me laugh? It's just like, you know what I mean? How they were, weren't they? And, you just think, ooh, mate.
The winner of the Johnston's Paint Trophy should go into Europa Conference.
I do think it matters. I quite like the idea of him not being in the Champions League.
What a pass from Luke Shaw.
It's it.
That was a bad ball.
It was a crap ball. Great pass from Shaw. Good run by Pogba, but the pass back to Rashford was nowhere near good enough.
A little turn there.
So Pogba then?
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Go in or stay?
Or Libby or your mate.
Go in or stay in?
Hey, have you asked him about Anthony Martial yet?
Yeah, we've had a bit of that.
Just a little bit.
I defended him. I compared him to Berbatov and almost got slapped.
Berbatov was like...
I compared his style.
What's like that? That's a good
He goes, Mr. Martial.
I had Housen in my ear from wherever he is going, don't do it. Don't do it. It's Jesus.
You're not allowed to. I'm just comparing their sort of their...
Don't compare him to anything.
More their sort of not footballing
persona,
talent. The style.
It's just... No.
We've had a bit of Martial.
Yeah, I thought so. Trevor was a bit of that.
So Pogba, this is my take on it, right? So I think he's going to go.
Right, okay.
Right? And I think the board, again, are going to stitch us by going, well, you're not going to get a replacement because... Voila, Van der Beek.
Yeah, we've already got your replacement. So
exactly, and like Scholes, you said, this kid needs to play. I watched this kid, in the Dutch league, man,
right?
And he was with De Jong, and is it De Jong? Yeah, what about that? The kid was just quality, mate. He can play at the top of the diamond, at the back. I think he'll either be scared. He's not playing enough. Scholes, he said that, didn't he? That type of player needs to be playing consistently.
Yeah,
the kid, so you can't expect him to come on and start producing miracles.
Yeah, he's a very sort of subtle player, isn't he? He doesn't rely on like tearing about and getting stuck in. He relies on little feints and movements and flicks around the corner.
Look at the hassle Fred used to get when he first come out. You know what I mean? Anderson,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, he's more skillful than any of those Van der Beek. He just needs to have a chance. So I don't know whether or not the board are going to go, we've already got your replacement here, mate.
Either way, though, he's not Paul Pogba.
I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I didn't watch much of him at Ajax, Trev. So I'm going off what I see now. Yeah. And I see a player playing within himself. He doesn't seem to be. But from people like you say, no, trust me.
I can understand it.
Because I'm still sort of, the jury for me is out.
Yeah, I can understand, and I can understand the opinion of many fans like that. It's like we said before about Bellingham. Man was going, what about we're buying a 16-year-old? Ridiculous. United aren't going to give him the responsibility in the middle of the park. Now you look at him and you go, get him in.
Mate, he was the best player against City, wasn't he?
You go, get him in.
Got robbed as well for that first goal.
Speaking of United transfers, apparently Sancho's got 2 goals in the German Cup final today, so...
Sancho.
Nice little sign-off for him there before he joins United. Edward Bamba says, Ole wasn't just underrated as a player, incredibly underrated manager too. I agree with that, definitely. couple of other ones.
Oh,
Ben
I'm got it.
2002.
No comment.
No comment there. No comment. You're allowed to say, Trav. We're not MUTV. You can say what you want.
I know we can say when we've discussed it many times, haven't we? We've discussed it many times.
Mate.
And while I like him as a player, and I like him personally. Good save.
Yeah,
good save.
Ball there. See,
listen, all I've got to say is, and we all know, there's only managers get judged on one thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just see how we respond. I think the board are bad by not saying to the fans, this is a 5 or 6 year project. This is what's infuriating. This is why you get a lot of kids going ollie out because they don't know what's going on. If you'd have said to him, right, we're not win, draw or lose, he's staying for this amount of time, and this is what we're doing. Right? Fine. But now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Henderson here with a save that, and this isn't trying to be a comparison
De
against
Gea.
De Gea, but not all goalkeepers come out for that.
No.
The fact that he's a foot away from the striker when he gets that touch, he makes it an easy save. He makes it a nothing situation.
He's read that, hasn't he?
He read it really well.
As soon as he sees that, he's on it.
Yeah.
He's on his
De
goalkeeping.
Gea being in Stretford then, mate. Role 3. I mean, listen, the great keeper, but as a one-on-one, you're not backing him.
That's really good proactive goalkeeping by Henderson. Ben 2002. People think Rooney was overrated because he didn't live up to his potential because he didn't win a Ballon d'Or. Maybe.
Do you know what the sad thing
point.
about Wayne Rooney is? He got 2 injuries, and I think it wasn't 2 injuries.
Yeah.
2004 in the Euros.
Metatarsal.
Oh, when he came
we
in,
win
he
that.
was
We win that
incredible.
tournament, and he's the reason we win it.
Yeah, over Greece.
Yeah. 2010.
Yeah.
Against Bayern Munich, we win it, and he's the reason we win it.
Yeah.
And then people go, he's won
Yeah.
2 big trophies there as the main man, because when we did win the Champions League, Ronaldo was the main man, so we
I
never
still
got his
can't
credit.
believe we lost that tie to Bayern Munich.
That
We were
was
better
like-
than them for the whole thing almost.
Yeah.
They just got some goals. at
Last
Old
minute
Trafford.
goal in Munich,
Incredible.
and then last minute injury won it to Rooney.
won it.
Yeah.
And then Rafael da Silva.
They were terrible.
Mate, he proper put that in the post, didn't he? His red card.
Yeah.
Like, he let everyone know. Everyone's screaming, get him off.
Yeah.
Leaves him
Terrible.
on.
Yeah.
Pulls him back. There you go.
Samuel said, Rooney held us to ransom by calling out the lack of ambition that our fans are protecting about 10 years later. Riddle me that. I don't think it's the case of he didn't, or that it was fine for him to do that because he saw what the fans could see. I think there's a way of doing it, isn't there? And coming out and doing it the way he did, I can see why that would leave a sour taste for a lot of people.
I mean, was there a bit of footsie there with City? That's what I heard.
Yeah, of course he was. I mean,
That's what wound everyone up.
That
Because
was the
City
thing when
coming
it's-
with all this money,
yeah.
and it's like, we're going to get Rooney off you.
And you got to remember, because we'd got Tevez.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Tevez was going to go over there, and they were starting to be financially able to get certain players.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's true.
And listen, you've got to protect whether you like it or not. You've got to protect your prize asset, haven't you? And listen, we talked about it before again briefly. They did the same with Jose. Remember?
Yeah.
Halfway through his tenure, handball.
No,
at his feet, at his hips.
Tackle there,
Go on then.
penalty there.
Penalty.
Oh,
Given a penalty, Eric Bailly. It looked like he got the ball, but I think it's the force that he goes through with. But I need to see that
Who's
again.
that? Phillips.
Yeah.
So he's give it away, and then he's got to. Let's have a look at this.
So it does it. That's not the point.
He's outside the box.
He's outside the box.
He kicks the ball away.
He's kicked by you. Watch.
Come on.
penalty.
You think?
Oh, I mean, it's in the box.
Oh,
It's
but it's not a foul though.
Is it in the
He
box?
just kicks the ball away.
If it's on the line, it's a penalty. 'cause
Yeah, it's in the box. I think it's on the line. He literally just kicks the ball away and
Does he give it VAR? Come on.
left foot swings through, kicks the ball away, and the outside of his
kicked him.
foot
That's
catches
not
his shin.
a penalty.
He's
That's not a
kicked
penalty.
him.
It's not like straight studs.
Watch Phillips'
There's
leg.
no.
Phillips has kicked him.
That's not a penalty. He literally swings through, and it's the outside of his boot that grazes Phillips' leg. He's going to check it.
do you have a look?
He's going to check it because fair enough. If he kicks through and he gets 6 studs on his shin,
Phillips,
and
yeah.
his
Phillips has
fucking
kicked
legs
him.
bending.
Shut up, Klopp.
But for me, you're allowed to make contact during a tackle. He gets all of the ball, and his foot slides off the side of his leg. That's not.
Watch this. Look. Watch his foot.
That's not a foul.
What do you expect him to do? He's just kicked the ball, right? He's there. He's kicked him. Watch his right foot. Look, He's kicked the ball. He's not even touched the man.
Nah, there's no heavy contact with Studs there.
No.
His
He's
foot
touched the
his
ball.
foot bounces off Phillips. It doesn't go into his leg.
Watch Phillips' right foot. Look.
No.
Yes! Yes.
You know, I didn't think he's going to overturn that.
Andy Taylor, once a red, always a red.
Look at him.
Klopp will be shitting himself now. Oh, he made a tackle, but, you know, it was a bit of a heavy tackle, so it must have been a penalty. He doesn't go through him, does he, at all?
No.
His leg bounces off. The outside of Bai's foot bounces off of Phillips' shin.
Thank
He doesn't
you.
stud him. Fucking hell, bit of common sense.
Why?
He's going to be shitting
Yeah, but he's under pressure, isn't he? He's under pressure, isn't he?
yeah.
He's under pressure, you know that. Listen, the worst, like you said, you know, it is the worst Premier defence, whether you like it or not.
And you know what as well? Stevie G breathing down his neck.
Yeah, do you think?
They love Stevie G over there. They love Stevie G.
Yeah, winning the
honestly,
winning the league with Rangers.
if they sacked Klopp and brought in Stevie G, they wouldn't to kick off.
Listen, come on, we're talking about Ollie here. Come on, it's the same. You know, to be fair to Stevie G, his record's a bit better, isn't it? Or is it?
Don't know.
Than Ollie's in terms of in terms of getting him on his CV. In terms of if he wins Rangers, he's won Rangers the league.
Yeah, he's won.
Well, and then you put them then. So you put Ollie, Mould. Hold on a minute. You put Ollie, Mould, and Cardiff.
See, you're throwing in the Cardiff thing. That's the problem.
But Mulder had never won a league title in their entire history, and he won 2 with them. Rangers are still the second richest team in Scotland, despite the fact that they've been down the league.
No. It don't matter. Mould. What have they won?
The league.
What league?
The Norwegian league.
The Norwegian league. What do you know about it?
What is it? Yeah, but I'm not.
You should know. You're a Viking. You're from there,
I'm
mate.
not saying that it's the greatest achievement of all time.
Come on.
Right.
Stop it.
Did Mould win the Scottish Premier League?
No.
Exactly.
Right, there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Is the Norwegian league as competitive as the Scottish league?
Well, the Scottish league's had the same winner for about 9 years.
Well, that's fine. That's
so I
fine.
wouldn't say it's that competitive.
But what I'm trying to say is, you know what I mean? It's like if City got rid of Pep today, they're not going to bring what's he called?
Paul Dickov.
Yeah.
Have they even got any former players who are managers?
Is there? Yeah, only thingy. Company.
Yeah.
But no, but I'm on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I know what you're saying. And
I think for me, the thing with Ollie is he got the permanent manager's job after that run, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That run.
He
then he had a
wasn't brought in as
bad
manager,
run.
was he?
Then he had a bad run.
Of how many games?
What do you mean?
How many games did we lose?
That bad run? 10 out of
only-
11, wasn't it?
only-
10 out of 12 or something.
Couple.
Yeah, it was like we won like 10 out of 12 and then we lost 10 out of 12. It was horrible. But
listen, he's the manager. He's my manager. I support him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Simple as that. But if you're saying to me, if you put 2 CVs down, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, also, but I mean, you look at the CVs now.
Let's
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to Europa League final. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's finished third with a team in England. His CV now is much better than Gerrard's. Maybe it wasn't when he got the job, but it certainly is now. Yeah, but that's 4 more than Steven Gerrard's got to.
Tell you what, we'll see. We'll see at the end of the season.
Listen. I want the man to do well. Yeah. You know that. I want the man. He's a manager. But if you know,
it in.
It is what it is, isn't it? But they will love. They'd love him. They'd love him to go there, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would, yeah.
It was like Dalglish.
Oh,
it's like
well
Dalglish.
worked that one. It was
Can't wait for Dalglish to get there. No, you know what I mean. They're heroes, aren't they? So
yeah, and he almost
you want your
ruined the
heroes.
club the second time he was there, Dalglish.
You want your I know.
Did his best to.
He ruined his reputation, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
Second time round,
that's like what a striker he was, though, man.
Dalglish. Oh, Dalglish. Bit before my time, I'm afraid.
And quite a bit before mine. No offence.
No excuse.
Ryan,
what sort of an excuse is that? You were too young to remember.
Well, you having a vets phone in from now on or something?
Yeah,
like that. It's going to be like four veterans.
It's
going to be 4 veterans on the panel.
Well, you can tell us all about how the Busby Babes were and that.
What they were like at school.
What's Charlie's 19th birthday?
Was Charlie Mitten overrated? You can tell us.
What was
Dennis Violet like as a young lad?
I tell you, them boots they wore, they were, oh, mate.
Ryan Weston says, I don't see how Ole hasn't put Rashford on the right to exploit Trent basically being a right winger. I guess he means on the left.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Because he has had his number a couple of times, Rashford, hasn't he? With Trent down that left-hand side. Are you surprised he's not been put out there?
Well, if you look at it now, to be fair, he's not really bombing on, is he, Trent, to be fair? If you look at it, the way that we've set up, I mean, usually, you know, you can talk about Dan James, right, but you talk about his defensive responsibility, and Dan James fills that criteria, doesn't he? Dan James, he does that. You know, I'm not saying the other part of his game, but whenever he's been chosen to do a defensive role, to get up and down, Dan James has done that. If you look at them today, Trent's not really done anything. So do you need Rashford to nullify him?
Maybe not.
That's the point.
Certainly, in terms of going forward, though, I think he's got his number in their half. Obviously, in our half, maybe Trent's not got forward as much. But I think one-on-one, we've seen it before. Rashford can skin Trent, can't he?
Come on, man. You've got
On
to
his
get
day,
a foot in there.
On his day, can do anyone, can't he?
Yeah, definitely. That's going to get there as well.
Why have you got socks in there, Van Bissaka?
Oh!
Great save.
No, really good save. That's swerved
Great
about,
save, lad.
That Jota with the shot.
Mate, he's done 2 worldies there, hasn't he?
Jota, man. But look at the space they're playing between the lines. Look at the space that we just opened up.
Yeah. It's curving.
That as well, yeah, you're right.
It looked as though it was going in the corner, and by the end it sort of curves back almost to the middle of the goal. Good, decent save by Henderson.
To be fair,
got to get behind it.
You'd expect him to make that. If
would.
it goes in, it's a mistake.
But what worries me is how easy.
No, you're right.
The passage of play was there, just between the lines, just like so easy.
Who was it? It was Wijnaldum, wasn't it? Just stood by himself.
Have we not got 2 holding defending midfield players somewhere?
Well done, Dino.
Oh! Stand up, stand up, stand up. Offside.
Yeah. Backheeled it in, Jota.
Oh,
just too much time in the box on the ball then. Ball comes back across and Jota
That's been
sort of
coming
flicks
now.
it in. It has.
We haven't got going properly, you know.
Yeah. So the ball comes in. Henderson with a punch to the edge of the box, and then Salah slings it in. And just no one gets near him. The ball comes back across.
Oh, he's well on.
He's
well on.
Good flick, but no one really near him, was there?
Look at it goes out there. No one,
Bissaka there, maybe.
well, no one pressing the ball. Look at what Cavani did. Only Cavani trying to press the bloody ball, man.
There's a slice of fortune to the fact that the shot that Phillips has, and I don't think that is a cross, is going about 6 yards wide. It goes to Jota's feet.
Well, it's both of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both goals have been probably quite similar. Yeah, look, they are ready again. What are you doing, Van Bissaka?
Yeah. Ball back across and Lindelof clears it away. United looking a bit ropey now, aren't they? Shaky.
Let's get your shape.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to turn this around quickly.
See, look, decision making.
Man, that's
decision
terrible.
making, mate.
Too long on the ball there, Pogba. And again, just easy balls through the lines. Another corner for Liverpool. This is the sort of pressure that kills you.
So this is where you earn your wages here now. Them 2 defensive midfield players. Come on, let's get it organised. But look at them getting mixed up with each other.
Yeah, if it's a better ball from Salah, Jota's got a free shot goal there. He just puts it behind him. But United are riding their luck here because last couple minutes we've fallen to pieces. Another corner for Liverpool now. Ball in. Won by Eric Bailly, but only to the edge of the box again. That's a bit better. Cleared away. Thrown to Liverpool.
Get him up.
Yeah. Not really made a lot, have we, since the goal?
No.
We've allowed the pressure on from Liverpool. Like you were saying, Jay, it's kind of been coming, hasn't it, this?
Yeah. It has, mate, and just look ropey at the back. I know we're missing Maguire, but come on, you can't use that as an excuse.
No, and it's like you said, Trev, it's the balls between the lines where they just pass it from deep, Thiago, straight to Wijnaldum or whoever it is, and we're not covering those players between the midfield.
But this is when it's about communication, information. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said to you, you've got 2 kids that are pivotal in defensive midfield duties. Like, so you're not talking to each other. You're not pulling someone in and.
Fred there getting dragged out of position. McTominay does well there, a bit of sturdiness.
Could have won that.
Yeah, he's done you there. Wijnaldum going past 2.
Look. Well, you've got the man in front of you there.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny, man. You know what I mean? Bruno, if I'm honest, all right, he goes all over the place. But again, he's got to take some responsibility for shape.
There you go. Counter-attack chance now. Rashford in behind.
Crossing.
Robertson. Just couldn't quite get in
Someone
front
should
of
get near him. Who's with him? Who's with him?
4 men round him there, Rashford.
4 men.
Yeah. Yeah. No one up with him.
Well, I mean, look at Bruno here. So look, just what I'm trying to say about him. Look, he's all over the show.
It's just not good enough.
But the fact is, when you start wandering, you're losing the shape, right? Defensively, you're opening avenues for them to slide balls through.
Yeah.
He's just sprinted there 70 yards. right? And look,
win that.
left everything open.
Yeah.
Now he's got to sprint 150 yards to get back.
Go on, Luke. Fred there won it back. Looked like it might have been a foul, but see now, look, we're not. It's like we're not ready to attack. We're not willing to get men forward. Slowly getting people up into their half.
Jesus
Come
Christ,
on,
Scotland,
man.
Straight at Salah's back
It's
there.
awful.
He tried to switch play there, 40-yard pass. Keep possession.
Yeah. He wasn't even trying to block it, was he? Salah just hit him. Just a poor ball.
See, look at Bruno at the bottom of the screen. Look.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say to you, right? You know what I mean? It's what you do off the ball.
There you go.
You got to work hard off the ball. Simple as that.
That's such a bad touch from Fred. That
just taking.
He just put his hand up.
Twice as long as
put
he
his
had.
hand up. Thank you very much. So
he's got 5 seconds to make the pass, and he wants 6. He had ages to make that pass. He just
look, he's driving. Look at him driving here.
Well done, Wan-Bissaka. That's a really good tackle.
He's got legs like Inspector Gadget, hasn't he?
why are you playing the ball there like that to him?
McTominay.
2 touch, just play round him.
That's a good ball from McTominay. But last couple of minutes, McTominay and Fred,
It's been
both
awful.
giving the ball away
Honestly,
with silly passes
between them both.
I know.
Terrible.
And that's one of the biggest criticisms of both of them, isn't it? They need too long on the ball, and their range
Exactly.
of passes
Look
isn't
after
there.
the ball.
Yeah. Bruno, just need to keep hold of the ball. Like you
Look,
said.
he's going to do it again.
Yeah, he's not hitting.
No,
it
how
this
far
time.
was that in front of their player?
About
He would have stuck his
an
leg out.
inch,
He would have
yeah.
stuck his leg out.
Yeah. McFred are out of their depth. Last few minutes they've looked shaky, haven't they?
Yeah, both of them.
I just think that's it's about, you're not sussing it. Get one in front of, one at the side of you. You've got to look at where they're banging these balls through little avenues, through passageways. And you've got to communicate. Bring it tighter, compact, make it more compact.
Yeah.
Sure. Holding the ball a bit more. Lewis Tuffer, we need Rashford on Trent. Yeah, that's a couple of people said that now.
Turn.
That's a good ball. That's the ball through the line that they've been doing, isn't it? And that's good.
Hit it! See?
Yeah, he's got time there. Time to shoot.
On the edge of the box there, the only option really was just to hit it, wasn't it? And he took a touch and then lost it. He's got to back himself there, Pogba. He can hit it from there.
He scored
got it
2 or
in him.
3 from there this season.
That's what I mean.
That's a good cross. Oh, that's unlucky. Not
Come on,
bad.
don't
there.
let him out. Come on, you've got to be tight.
Good
Well done,
tackle.
Cavani.
That's good. Cavani tracking back, winning the ball back off Thiago there. Really good stuff.
Look, do you know, this is what you're talking about, man. Yeah. It's what you do off the ball as well.
Yeah.
That's more important. You work hard to keep it and work even harder to win it back.
Yeah. Bruno back to Shaw. And he puts the ball in just straight at the man. It's a bit better from United. Holding the ball last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Decision making, that's all it is.
Yeah. We've not really had many shots, have we?
Hit it! Hit it!
It's drifting into the box. Pogba! Oh, I thought that had gone in for a second then.
So what was more difficult? That?
Yeah. On his weak foot.
Oh, 2 minutes ago when it's come across him and he's just got to go bang.
Well, he's probably thought, I should have had a shot before. I'll have a shot now.
I mean, he struck it well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
Side netting, wasn't it? I saw the net rip.
and look at the goal he scored in the middle of the season with 35 yards out. Come across him, bang.
He's got a couple, hasn't he?
Yeah.
West Ham, Burnley. He's got it in him.
Ryan Weston says, lineup not working. Matic, Greenwood needed.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not bringing. I don't.
Matic?
I don't think bringing on the Man United.
Philip Mershon says, our midfield is rough. There's a little bit of that.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
We do need some. We need.
It's one of them. Like, just stop overcomplicating things. Like,
Exactly. Just get back. 1 touch, 2 touch. Keep it moving. Tempo. We're playing at home. The home team dictates the tempo, not the away side.
For the
Do you know
first
what I mean?
sort of 10, 15 minutes we were doing that, it's like we got the goal and thought, oh shit, we might beat these.
You know what does frustrate me? I've got to say, as well as Shaw's been playing right, again, his decision making sometimes. So people make a diagonal run.
oh my God.
Can Fred keep the ball for 5 seconds?
No, he can't.
He'll make a diagonal run and Shaw just delays the pass.
Awful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's, defensively do well, but do it quick.
He did well there, Shaw, because Fred was intent on losing the ball, wasn't he?
He was.
Don't force it.
Look, he's got 6 legs.
They should be playing. They should be playing on that young kid, shouldn't
I know.
they?
That's what I mean. Like, he's not had any pressure really, has he?
Should be playing on him, mate.
Like,
and when like I said, the service, Cavani, we were talking about before systems, service. Give him,
It's a good ball.
Look after it.
He's off there.
Why are you fouling that?
Chuck Fabinho down there. He's annoyed at himself when for passing it to Bruno, who's offside.
Yeah.
He thought, I'll just chuck him over. Sajal said, Pogba short and Rashford are having a very bad game. Rashford is wasted on the right hand side. Pogba very poor so far. I think it's almost as though they didn't expect Liverpool to press like this, because when you think the amount of times that we've taken too long on the ball, or we've been allowed to be closed down, or we end up passing it against a man who's approaching, like Pogba's done it a couple of times, Fred's done it a couple of times, McTominay.
Talk, communicate.
It's like they thought, I can't believe Liverpool are pressing. They haven't been doing that for 5 years.
But they've got to understand them, and because they're under pressure. They have got to get something out of this game.
Exactly.
This is what I'm trying to say to us. So we should be dictating the tempo, not them. Go on.
That's good from Luke Shaw there. Just gets you
penetrate
30 yards of progress.
Go on.
Pogba to Rashford. Goes past one. Just gets the ball nipped off him. Well done there. Go on, Fred. Find a pass. He's gone the wrong way there. No, he's done all right.
He's done well there.
Yeah. I thought Shaw was the man, but he's gone with Wan-Bissaka, whose touch just stopped him being able to put it in. Tom E says, please don't let Matic anywhere near this game.
Who was that?
Tom E.
Good lad, Tom E.
It's like the Leicester game didn't happen.
Good lad, Tom E.
Leicester, yeah. Dean Henderson there.
Oh,
played a sweeper.
No, this
he's done well there. He's done well there, come on.
I know he has done well, but my heart went in my mouth.
Scary.
My heart went in my mouth.
It was that like 40 yards out of his body. Like,
Good to find a composed pass to Pogba as well. He didn't just sling it forward. He actually saw
played
the
a better pass than some of our midfielders are doing.
Yeah. Rashford is struggling a bit, isn't he? Who's that? Pogba. Trying to find
if you're going to put Rashford on the right to accommodate Pogba on the left, then he's got to do better than that. Otherwise, you just got two players that aren't playing well in positions that
Spanish
don't
Dave
seem
there.
to suit him. Maybe it might be time to move him around.
Got me around, mate.
What are your thoughts on the whole Dean Henderson, David De Gea conundrum that Ollie's got?
David De Gea number one for me.
You think?
Yeah.
But the kid, you don't like Henderson, or you still think De Gea's got a lot in him?
Henderson, for me, has still got potential. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but you got to remember where he's been playing.
Eric Bailly's.
Do you know what I mean? And he's come from Man United, so he's gone to Sheffield and he's excelled. But for me, I don't think. So he's had a couple of bad games, De Gea, but you've got to look at the whole picture. What has he done since he's come in? He's giving us 17 points a season. Him, some of them saves he pulls off.
He has in the past, but
the past, but that's what I'm saying. Lately,
yeah. That's a ridiculous ball.
Yeah, and a great touch.
That's a great ball.
Pogba, go on, find a shot.
No, hit it.
Find a shot. Bruno, good block.
It was a good block.
You said there, Jay. Eric Bailly's pulled up. He did, and Bruno's pulled up as well now. But Bailly looked as though he's carrying a knock there.
Look at him limping. Look at he's not running freely.
No,
he's not running freely.
I don't know what Bruno's done there, because it didn't look like there was much contact. But Eric Bailly definitely looked like he pulled up, didn't he?
He's not running freely.
Don't know what Bruno's done.
Mate, I'm not being funny, right? But this brother goes down like even quicker than Saha, your mate.
Bruno?
Mate, I watched him today. Someone went past him. The wind put. He's
Yeah, but it can be really strong winds this time of year. You know that. Enough to put you in hospital at least.
Mate, modern day ballers, mate.
He is a baller though. There's no denying
John
that.
Fitzpatrick smashing knees. You know what I mean? Joe Jordan.
Yeah, but Joe Jordan never got 27 goals, 18 assists.
Joe Jordan got pure goals, mate. They're proper.
I liked it when like a 68-year-old Joe Jordan tried to have a fight with Gattuso.
Yeah,
I love it, mate.
Fantastic.
Bottle, mate, bottle. But that Gattuso's rough. But Joe Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy fight.
No, but I don't know. But Joe Jordan ain't easy, mate.
No.
Ain't easy.
But
that's like the same idiot trying to break into Ferguson's house and you're thinking, are you on drugs, mate? Joe lives there.
Duncan Ferguson was ruthless, wasn't he, man?
Oh, Duncan
crazy.
Mate, he just threw people to the ground,
yeah.
just like even with Yap, I think Vidic just threw them to the ground. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
thing with Duncan Ferguson as well, he's only scored about, his record was like 1 in 7. It wasn't that
He was
good.
more than that.
People were just scared of him,
Look at
mate.
his goal scoring record, he's not great.
Just a goal scorer, he was
He's just like a cult hero.
He was heavy.
Goal! Goal!
Firmino.
Look at him with his ears.
Cross to the back post.
Is he doing that to the cameras? Is he doing that to? There's no crowd there. Look how far that ball has travelled.
Yeah, all the way to the back post. Fucking hell. Who's on him?
Who's there? The 6 there.
Pogba.
Look.
Don't move. Don't move quick.
Come on, man. That is a disgrace.
Yeah.
That's a disgrace. Look how far the ball has come.
Shocking.
Why has he done that, Pogba?
Because he don't move quick enough. Firmino starts his run before that, and Pogba's never there to catch him up. He can't catch him up, so he
Power
tries
of the
to pull
header,
him
man.
down.
The power of the header.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at Klopp. Look
They
at
need
him.
this. They need it, don't they?
This is what I'm trying to say to you, right? So out of our team, you just said before about expectation. The expectation is that they're going to come out.
That's his first goal in 16 games.
Well,
he did this to us before. He did this to us last season, didn't
they're
he?
going to come out
We
all
don't
guns
score.
firing, man.
Yeah.
It's up to us to take the pace to them.
Yeah.
Come on, man. God.
Yeah, poor that. Just too easy. Especially after the other night as well.
Well,
No, it's not
60
the same
metre
players,
ball.
But a
60
ball
metre
just,
pass.
Yeah. Pogba don't stay near his man. Doesn't.
It's
make,
completely on the wrong side.
Yeah. All it takes is for Firmino to start his run half a second before Pogba does, and he just can't catch him.
But look at his
He's gotta
starting
get closer
position.
than that.
Look at his starting position,
Yeah.
man. It was completely on the wrong side.
Yeah. Sajal again says, how many times have we conceded this season from free kicks and corners? Seems like we concede one every game. I don't think it's that. It had got a lot better. First half of the season, we were terrible for it. Recently, we'd got a lot better at it. But obviously, it's happened twice in 2 days now. Vion Batia says, second half FC time. Well, we need it. We weren't second half FC against Leicester, though, were we? We need it, but it's poor. He says zonal marking. I don't know.
Can't stand it. And that wasn't zonal marking.
Well, that's different.
That wasn't
Slightly
zonal
different
marking.
from the
Zonal
cross,
marking
isn't
from
it?
the corner, mate.
Yeah.
That was touch tight.
Yeah.
That was touch tight against the man. And unfortunately, Pogba, you've got to take that responsibility. You're on the wrong side of him. Your starting position was wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see where the ball's played. He's turned. The ball's played behind him. He's had to turn.
Yeah.
He should be coming onto it.
If he's your man, you've got to stay with him. You can't just, I'm not a defender. I'm not saying he said that, but there's no excuse to not stay with a man at the back post if you're the man at the back post, because when it goes in, it's your fault. Philip Mershon, obviously, he sent this before the goal, so it wasn't mentioned. Well, there's still a criticism, so maybe it works still. McFred offers nothing. Huge gaps when defending. Runners go right through, lose the ball cheaply, and don't pass or control the tempo going forward. Enjoy watching these games with you lads. Cheers, Philip. There is definitely something to be said about McTominay and Fred. It seems as though in these big games, when there are those moments, the 5 minutes or so after the Liverpool goal, the first goal, it's like they both lose their heads at the same time, don't they? They're both capable of giving the ball away 2 or 3 times in a couple of minutes. Neither of them really have that sort of calming, I'll take control, give me the ball, I'll make sure we don't, concede another goal before half time. They don't quite have that between them, do they?
For me, right, you both should be able to take responsibility, right?
Yeah.
You both should be the factors where you encourage, right? Yeah, go on, Jay, push on a bit, right? Get alongside me. Either one. Where's the leadership from the pair of them? Where's the organisation from the pair of them?
Dire.
Right. Dire. So what does that say? Are they scared of them?
Yeah. It looks.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
Like we said before.
There's one team there. You can tell one team that needs a win.
Well, there you go.
And another team that's like.
Are they forgetting? This is
like
Liverpool.
Half a mind on the Europa League final.
This is Liverpool.
It's not the end of the world if you don't win this one.
Quick super chat before we head over. Tom E says, watching United defend set pieces is going to give me an aneurysm. It's not good for anyone. Let's go over to Alex and Ronaldo for the halftime show. It's a shocking end to the first half, isn't it, lads?
Not a good end to the first half. I'm Ronaldo. There's the super chat just been put in there. I pray Maguire is available for the Europa final, and I completely agree because we've looked all over the place.
I was going to say, you can see why he's played every game. They've looked like a bag of nerves without him. So more than anything, more than his ability, I think he's just a calming presence.
Yeah.
For our back four, I think the pairing of Lindelof and Bailly, it's a little bit nervy, a little bit frantic.
Trust each other too much. It's been, I've not seen us be defensively that nervy in a long time, and it can't just be coincidental that it's been when Maguire's not in the team.
We've got another super chat from David Dixon who says, is Marcus even playing? We'll get on to Marcus Rashford's form and his first half, but frantic first half from the get-go. United took the lead. We did seem to come out very quickly.
Yeah.
It just never looked in control, though, did it? Neither team was in control for the first 10,
bits
15
and
minutes.
spurts. We got the goal ricochet, but in the large scheme of things, in general, the first half was largely controlled by Liverpool. They were the most threatening, they were the most dangerous. They defended a little bit better than we did.
Yeah.
I think the worst player for them was Alisson. I think Alisson's been quite suspect.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we've been subpar. I think we lack. I was saying to you upstairs.
Yeah.
In a game like this, where Liverpool are generally going to dictate possession, they're going to have more of the ball. We need that typical counter-attacking presence that we normally have. And realistically, if you look at the front three that we have started with, as good as they are, Rashford's the only one with a little bit of pace up top. So I don't think we've got the greatest outlet. I think obviously Cavani's movement is more of a box guy. But he's not a pace counter type of player, is he? And Pogba's definitely not. So, and the issue is, and then when you've got Rashford on the flip side, who is got that pace and he can be a bit of an outlet on the counter, he's getting outran by Robertson. So
he did get done a couple of times. Yeah, he does look other times. Meb, the third, Rashford becomes the English Dan James when he's on the right. I think that's very harsh. I think Rashford's been a different player on the right. I think he plays more of a deeper role. I think more of a playmaker role, whereas on the left he can be a bit more explosive, but not. You don't. Someone's just put in there just stat padding. You can't stat pad in the Premier League.
Stat padding don't exist in football.
It doesn't exist. You can't do it.
I'm saying.
If you're scoring goals in the league, you're a good footballer.
If you're setting goals up, you're setting goals up.
It's not been the best first half. What did you make of it all in terms of? I mean, we're talking about the lineup there. We're talking about things like that, but I think everyone was quite happy with the lineup to start with. I think it was expected coming in. That's probably our strongest.
It's just how the game's materialised. I'm sticking to that point. We need. I think Greenwood needs to come on because he's another one with a little bit of legs, and I have been disappointed with Rashford's decision making. It has been. He looks a little bit too erratic for me sometimes. He don't look too composed a lot of the time. A lot of the time he's just head down running, and I've been saying that for a while, and I need to see him take that step on forward. He does. He's got some goals this season. He's got some assists this season, but in his general play, his general games, he does seem to worry me sometimes. And he's not. Games like this, Marcus Rashford needs to step up. He needs to be a little bit better than that.
They're looking at the first goal. The next thing they're going to talk about, let's have a bit of a chat, was the penalty incident, which they were still going on about 40 minutes into the game.
Listen, and then you've got Gary Neville on his overly impartial, overcompensating,
he is I've got
anti-United kind of commentary because he's worried about being called bias. He overcompensates to an extreme fault. Almost seemed like he was upset that the penalty wasn't given to Liverpool. But anyway, going past that, it was never a pen. He didn't give it, but I expected United to take that bit of look and thought, let's go on, take it into first half.
We did go on attack straight after that. Is Bruno's one going in there, this replaying it? No.
By that angle?
I don't think so. I don't think it is.
If it's touch and go, you've got to give the advantage to the forward, though.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
We've talked a little bit, you've seen the guys talk about Liverpool want this a bit more. Do you think there is a bit of a case that United kind of aren't playing for anything now? Top four's kind of done.
So Liverpool have all the urgency.
I don't.
Something in that? That shouldn't matter. It's Manchester United versus Liverpool. If you've got nothing to play for, it doesn't. It's not enough of an excuse. If you're playing for Manchester United and you're playing against Liverpool, you should be stepping onto that pitch accepting nothing less than a win.
No, exactly.
That's in my opinion. So I don't want to hear the excuses about we've got nothing to play for and Liverpool do. If anything, you've got the incentive to kind of end their season almost.
Yeah, which I think should be enough in any game. Firmino even scoring for Liverpool, which is just, he doesn't do goals. That's not. He's never done that. Few more comments saying we're missing Maguire. A few saying why do we persist with McFred? Look, I think that's. You've seen Donny come in there and doesn't really offer that much. You've seen.
The reason why I persist with McFred is because there's no one else.
Yeah, that's essentially it. People are saying the same thing about Andreas Pereira. Why is he playing? Why is he on the pitch? Why is he doing that? You saw the first opportunity he got, he left, he got shipped out of the club. And I think that's
just a representation of what we've been saying. A lot of people want the fancy players coming into United in the summer. You want the wingers, you want the strikers. That's all that we hear.
Yeah.
And the glaring issue in is the CDM role, the kind of DM midfielder. Because I feel like if we get that, I said it last time. You've got the ability then to play Pogba in midfield.
Yeah. There's a few comments. There's a couple of people saying there, drop Paul Pogba into midfield, bring Mason on. That would maybe mean that you could play Rashford on the right. Would you make any changes at half time? Would you wait a little bit? What do you think should happen? What do you think is going to happen?
I think Greenwood comes on. I think that's why I got...
At half time?
Yeah, not at half time. He rarely ever makes changes at half time. I think probably he's going to see how it goes for the first 10 minutes. But Greenwood will be looking to come on, I think, because I think that's why he got took off a little bit early.
Yeah, I think he's
on Tuesday.
To give him half an hour, yeah.
To probably give him half an hour at least in this game, because I think he's needed. He offers something a little bit different. I'm a little pedestrian going forward, and I think the shape of the game, in terms of the structure, in terms of Liverpool out being dominating possession, and United having to kind of break out, we haven't got players that kind of fit that style in the forward three. You've got good players, you've got Cavani, you've got Pogba. It's only really Rashford, and Rashford's not been good enough when he's had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Francis has put a super chat in there. Poor performance, no heart on the pitch right now. Lads have to wake up second half, can't keep giving up easy goals. I don't think that's a heart thing. I think that's just a case of...
Firmino score as well. You don't even score goals.
No. I think this is a case of the kind of worry we all had. For as much as, look, it definitely wasn't a penalty for Eric Bailly, but that is always the worry about Eric Bailly. He's flown into a tackle there that maybe he didn't even need to fly into. He could have just stood his ground, blocked the shot, not had to fly into it. Potentially could have given away a penalty. Obviously wasn't a penalty, but that's also at set pieces. I think people all season have said we need a Ruben Diaz, someone that organises things. I think we're seeing right now Maguire does that. Maguire is that kind of calming influence, and I think he's one of those players, Harry Maguire, you don't think how good he is until he's not in that team. I think we have looked a little bit...
There's a lot of criticism. Obviously, Pogba is probably at fault for Firmino's goal there. But it's one of them where it's a strange one, because generally he's decent defensively from set pieces from when I've watched. But he can't slip up in games like this. I know people are going to say, with a little bit less confidence, but what have United been generally all season? So we're going to keep the positivity. He's second half FC.
Second half FC. It wasn't even that against Leicester, but that was a very young, very inexperienced team. Got a full strength team out tonight. I'm looking forward to hopefully second half FC doing it. Let's have a look a few more at your comments. Rash is playing with the injury. I think that is something that we can all think about. I think this is kind of all coming to a head now. Rashford has been playing through these injuries.
Do you know what last
so long?
If he's been playing through injuries and he's always injured and he's always hampered, like as everyone says, why on earth, whenever United have the possibility to not play him or rest him or to not play him at all, why does he always come on? And why does he always play? And there's games where he's done and dusted, irrelevant, he doesn't need to come on, and he gets brought on and he gets played every week and he gets played every 2 times a week. And if he is carrying an injury, he's carrying a knock a lot of the time, he needs to be monitored better than that.
Yeah. He does, and I think there's a little bit of it being Marcus Rashford wanting to play, wanting to score goals, wanting to get, wanting to keep playing. But I think you need to have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer be a little bit stronger. Maybe this has just been the case this season, that without the pre-season, without the fact that he's not got much strength in depth, that Ole is always just gonna push through and he's just gonna keep playing this kind of players. He's got this 14 or 15 players he's got to use. He's not going to use too much else. I think that is all the case is going to be.
Because now I'm trying to think in terms of turning this game around. When you take Greenwood on, or you put Greenwood on, who do you take off?
I don't know, because I think people...
Because Liverpool are a dangerous side at the end of the day.
People are screaming out saying take off one of Freddie McTominay, play Pogba in midfield, but I think that limits Paul Pogba. I don't think you get the best out of Paul Pogba.
I think you can, but it's just you lose that little bit of legs and defensive stability against a very good side. I think that's why Pogba doesn't play in midfield. That's what I keep saying to you. If you've got a CDM that's all over the place and he commands and he's good on the ball and he can kind of cover Pogba a little bit, which McTominay and Fred can't, then Pogba can play in midfield. But you can't.
You can't at this moment in time. I don't think they've got that in there. Pogba's been much better at left wing. Let's have a look. Liverpool have a terrible centre-back pairing. You've seen that with their goal. They've looked a little bit all over the place, but we've not controlled the ball. We haven't got in there.
Yeah, they've got the shoddiest centre-half pairing. They've got Nat Phillips and a young Reece. What's his name? Reece Williams. I don't know his name. That he was terrible in the FA Cup tie when we beat him last as well. And they've just not been challenged at all.
A few people saying take Rashford off, which I'm not too sure. I think that Ollie's going to leave him on just for the fact that he's got that goal threat, he's got that final ball. I think that you probably leave Rashford on. There's a few people saying bring on Diallo. No Donny van der Beek. No one. strange how people aren't pushing for Donny van der Beek. That's been the usual thing. I think people have seen Donny van der Beek now and gone.
I think people are giving up the ghost on that one.
Right.
That's why he doesn't play.
There's a reason why he doesn't play. It doesn't really affect the game that much yet. I'm not giving up on Donny van der Beek saying about
I don't have to give up. Just say what you see. When you see him play, it doesn't affect it.
I don't think he should be playing for Manchester United. A few more people saying Fred, a few people saying McTominay. I think that's the whole thing, is that as a unit, it doesn't really work too well.
Lee Casson says Fred, Marks, McTominay. I do say a bit of that sometimes. That is a good comment. I feel like they're pressed together, they're on top of each other to receive. Everything's too tight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time when McTominay can pass the first time, he doesn't see the picture early enough. We just lack that little bit of quality in midfield. I think sometimes it's headless chicken in there as well.
Yeah. One shot on target isn't helping, but I think that's all down to not controlling the game further back. Yeah. I don't think that's a case of us. The striker's not doing anything. I think they're showing that penalty now on the penalty incident.
It's a great tackle.
It's a great tackle.
I don't even know why that was a debate.
It's a great tackle, but it's one that I don't think he needs to dive in and make, to be honest. I don't think it's not a last-ditch challenge. There's a lot of people buying. There's not too many people. He's not going to push it past them and shoot. He's just wanting to stand his ground there a little bit. But that's Eric Bailly. That's why you love him. But also, he's got a penalty, a yellow card, a booking, a sending off, whatever he's got in there. It's all right, Jay. I didn't want to brew. You're okay, mate. No. Jay,
that's shocking, Jay.
Shocking. It's all right. You keep going, mate.
I don't even want one. I'm just.
Not long now until the second half. We'll be back with Trevor, with Jay, and Joe Smith, who is currently inhaling some chicken. Inhaling it. I'm not saying eating. He's just throwing it down his neck.
Yeah,
Joe Smith.
It's not even the future. Joe.
Everyone's saying a few second half FCs in there. Also, I just want to pick up a little thing that Liverpool did before the game. I know that it's not. We don't like praising Liverpool, but they did wear the shirts for that young lad, Jordan, who passed away in Blackpool, 9 years older than that. Very good thing for that young lad who passed away.
Respectable by the Scouts.
Respectable by Liverpool.
Second half FC.
Second half C is about to kick off now. I'm going to pass over to Jay Motti. Joe Smith, who's gulping some water down. Jay's filling with his headphones. Over to the lads.
All right. Plenty of time there.
Hey, nice
down in waters, get rid of your mouthful of food. Second half about to come up. No subs at half time.
Rightly so.
What do we need to see in this second half? Because I thought we started the game well, we pressed well, that led to a goal. And after that, it's like we went, oh no, we might beat these, let's just be scared. It's like they really seem to have lost their bottle a little bit toward the end of that second half.
Yeah, it did, like was been pointed out, just too sloppy in midfield, just constantly giving it away, inviting trouble, and positionally at set pieces. We're all over the shop. Yeah. Just look like, I mean, we look disorganised. It just doesn't look good.
I want to see more intensity, better tempo from us. I want to see more organisation, get more compact with defending and make it difficult for him to play between the lines. And you know what I mean? We've got to do it. Like I said to you, this is Liverpool. It's not, with all due respects, Burnley. Do you know what I mean? They need to get something here. They need to get something. It's our job to make it difficult for them.
Lindelof to Fred.
Look, there you
what
go.
is that?
He didn't even look. Yeah, but the thing is, again, his decision making, right? He didn't even look over his shoulder.
Come on.
Play it now.
See? Shaw giving it away as well.
Here we go.
Trent.
Deflection. There we go. There we go.
And it's a mistake there from Henderson, from
Fred, and from Shaw.
Look at the first phase, right? If that ball comes to Scholes at the edge of the box, before it's even come to him, Scholes, he looks over his shoulder and knows where it's going. Watch what he does here. Look,
carnage,
he doesn't even look. He doesn't even look.
Just the do you know right? Do you know the Everton game when he gave the ball away?
But even
he passed it to them.
Even there to Shaw. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go on. There's 3 mistakes, but the Everton game when Fred just gave it to their striker, who put it in.
He's got to do better there as well.
Come on.
People say, "Oh, why did he hit it first time with his right foot?" He's left-footed. He couldn't even hit it first time with his left foot. Let alone, that's why he holds on to the ball for too long, because he can't pass.
Yeah. So you ask me a question: De Gea, is De Gea saving that?
It's poor from Henderson.
That's straight into your body, mate.
Yeah, that's poor.
Fucking Roberto Firmino getting 2 against us. That's a new low point for Manchester
3-1.
United Football Club. Seriously.
At home.
We've gifted him 2 goals.
Yeah.
His 8th Premier League goal this season. Fucking hell. He scored a quarter of his Premier League goals against us.
No,
this
but bro,
season.
they won it more than us.
Coming again now, look.
They won it. You know what I mean? It's about desire.
Salah. Death by Stera said, shocking. Henderson number 1 is a joke. I mean,
like you said, Jay, there was, you know what I mean, a lot of mistakes there. I mean,
how many times,
like
with Fred, how many times we have this conversation?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
you can have it most games.
It's like, it's just a liability.
And look at him now, so then he put his hand up blaming someone else. Just get him off now, man. I'm sorry.
You know, you're not going to catch City with someone like that in your team. I'm sorry.
No.
Just not.
No.
This is what I'm saying about the manager being strong and being assertive. If you screwed up like that, man, right, you're on. Even from a psychological point of view, I'm getting you warmed up right in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, when you talk about City there, when's the last time City had... You look at some of the players in our squad over the last few years.
Yeah.
When's the last time City had a player of Fred's quality play 100 games for him in 2 seasons?
Never. Not in the post-money era, yeah. Like, not since the money era.
I mean, they just don't have players of that quality playing as many games.
They might have someone who comes in and covers, like Jack Rodwell or...
Look at Arian Spanish.
But he doesn't...
It's like, he must see it. He must see it.
Yeah, I think he does. I think, remember last season, or when was it? The season before, when everyone... Last season, start of the season, when everyone was going, why is Pereira playing every week? He played 30 games for us last season, Pereira, at the start of the season, 25. Why does Ollie like Pereira? Why does he play him so much? Well, as soon as he had the option to not play him, because we got Bruno in, he hasn't played since, and he's left.
Yeah.
I don't think it's lost on Ollie that Fred gives the ball away all the time.
Yeah.
That Fred doesn't do the job that he needs to do there. I mean, you can look at Shaw, you can look at Henderson as well, mistakes from them, but they make mistakes less often than Fred, and they've had less time. You know, Henderson hasn't had as much time to prove himself. Luke Shaw doesn't make mistakes like Fred does. I don't think Ollie's sat there going, Fred's such a good player, why is he... I can't believe he's done that, so out of character. He knows what he's seeing. We all see it. And we just, like, Ollie will be so mad because he's just had 15 minutes to really go for him and try and turn this around, get him up, get him ready for the second half. And immediately, it's 3 mistakes in 10 seconds. And the game now, it's, let's see if we can fight back for a draw at best.
What's he doing sat there? Get in your technical area and start motivating them.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sorry.
Like,
this is going to be embarrassing.
There's a danger here.
This could be embarrassing.
A fucking hiding.
This could be embarrassing.
Like, seriously, we're all over the place.
Yeah, we are.
And like, they've got a bit between the teeth, and it's like this could end up.
Right.
5.
So get back to basics. Start organising. Start getting your shape. Think about stuff. What you're doing.
Jesus Christ!
It's just lazy,
isn't it? Put your fucking foot on the ball, like, just look what you're doing.
It's all right. People saying he should be the captain. Why? Because he scored a load of goals, a lot of penalties. Well, I don't see him saying anything.
Yeah.
Now look at the difference between their manager and look at our manager. Right? Even at 1-0 down, he was still out giving it there. So does it matter then? Well, so we guaranteed second, so it doesn't matter.
Man on.
Look, wait at the pass.
Oh, you're giving it away constantly. Scott McTominay, what are you doing, man?
Rough few minutes, this, isn't it?
This is horrible. This is as bad as we've been.
Listen, we're just hoping that Jesse does something for West Ham. Simple as that. And they lose. Liverpool lose.
Lindelof out to Shaw.
But you're putting him under pressure straight away.
No.
The ball.
Like, look at that. No, we've not been in their half at all this half. Is it? Yeah. 0% in their half.
David Lewis with the super chat said, can you remember when Ollie was screaming at Lingard, one more time when you're off?
Yeah,
Ollie took him off after the next mistake.
Thank you. Well done, mate.
Why
Good
doesn't
point.
he act like that when Fred is poor? Great
Good
show
point.
as always. Jay's dad is cool. I think that one of the differences...
Jay's dad.
Jay's dad is cool.
Oh, thank you. Go on, he's in.
I think that one of the differences is, and to answer your question, I don't know why he doesn't do that with Fred, but I think there's a more obvious substitute for Lingard. We've got more attackers that you can change things with. With midfielders, I guess Matic you could bring on.
No, mate, can I tell you the reason why? I'll tell you the reason why he did it with Jesse. Right? Because he knows him. And he knows Jesse will go through thick or thin for him. He'll go through that wall for him. Right? And you know there's certain players that you can say A, B or C with. He was more familiar with Jesse. Right? So we can say that. He can say one more chance, one more time you're off, one more time you're off. And then what did he do? Right? No. He should be saying that to all of them. He should be saying it to all of them. The gaffer did. The gaffer didn't care if you're Ronaldo, if you were Giggs or Scholes, you're all getting it.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? It's familiarity. It was familiar. Familiar. Why are you pointing that coffee, mate? It was familiar, and you know, listen, it's about consistency. We're getting beaten now, so get off your backside and get in that technical area and start dictating and start motivating.
Firmino as well. That's the horrible thing.
Like, let's got 8 goals this season and 2 of them against us in this game. It's just ridiculous.
Pathetic.
Like,
but it's about desire and want.
Like, Cavani's had no service tonight whatsoever.
Fucking
look.
Jota just.
Oh my God!
Running
Even
through
that,
where
it's
he
just
wants.
horrible to watch this.
Every pass we make is a fucking struggle at the minute, isn't it?
It is like literally
like
not
we're
even 2 passes together.
Wan-Bissaka there is horizontal trying to head the ball because the ball from Henderson's up in the air and he's got to beat 2
But look at the shape. Look at the man on the edge. Look at the man on the edge of the box. Look how far Pogba is off this man.
McTominay's won it back. Rashford, Cavani
The
got
foul.
the turn there. Bought the foul there, but it probably was one.
But it's like, and it's being aware. That man was so far off Pogba then. That's so easy for him to play between the lines and the man picks up the ball. He looks up, bang. So just go 50-50 at least.
I'm just sick of... He's like Fred there moaning and waving his arms about, mate. No one's going to pass you. You keep giving it away.
But he doesn't even receive the ball halfway on. He received the ball with the back to his opponent.
It's just horrible to watch.
He didn't even look over his shoulder to see that. So what decision? You can only try and turn or give it back to the man that it's come from. You've not even got a half turn on the kid.
Bruno's done well there.
He's all on his own there.
Yeah. Well done.
2 touch.
It's taking too long again, poor Pogba. He's got lucky there.
Every time, every single time. It's like all the worst traits about our players tonight are coming out.
Ball moving, ball moving.
Yeah.
Pogba's taking too long on a ball. Fred's just constantly giving it away.
Stevie Wonder better vision than Fred in midfield.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we've seen so much better from these players over this season, and this is just awful all round. Like Fred
that is atrocious.
Again,
pass.
and he's
it's
saying
a 10-yard
sorry.
pass to Paul Pogba's feet, and you've missed him by 2 yards.
That's what I mean. Like,
it's just
cannot
horrific. That's
continue.
5-a-side. You get screamed at for doing that.
And like Ollie, I don't know what he's waiting for. Like,
But what I'm saying to you is, I think
get him off.
Do they not know who they're playing?
Yeah.
Do they not know the history of this game? This is the biggest game in the Premiership, you know.
Yeah.
Right? And now at the moment you're just going, well, who's in second there?
Mind, Trev, right?
Who's in second?
We had the blueprint when we beat him in the FA Cup.
And the thing as well we're going to have to hear now is, did the protest distract him before the game? That's nothing. Like,
Did
that
the-
will be the question that you hear,
good
won't it? Do you
God.
think the players would distract? Fuck off with that. We're going to have to answer that now. Was the occasion too much?
Jesus Christ.
Ollie did the right thing, I thought, with Leicester, the Leicester game. I thought that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, of course it was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
listen,
you can't play on a Sunday and a Tuesday. And
no.
then on a Thursday.
No one's debating that, Arcade. But
That's what I mean. But now it's like, it was almost pointless. He may as well have played these lot.
He might as well.
Do you know what I mean? We just lost both games. The fuck is that about? How can you? How many is this now at Old Trafford we lost this season?
6.
6 at Old Trafford.
6.
You're fucking ashamed of yourselves.
6 losses this season, and we haven't lost away from home. So I mean, assuming we lose, there's still time to get a couple of goals.
Well, we ain't going to win this, mate. So
No,
I know you're not saying that.
Have you seen what Henderson's done there? Look. Have you seen when the ball's gone?
It's just an awful pass. It's just. I don't like sitting here having a dig at him. I really don't. But you got to call it as you see it. You can't sit here and say this is a good performance or this is good. You know, so and so's doing all right. None of them are. At the minute. They're just constantly giving it away.
That's what it's about, opinions and
Yeah,
being a
this is what I
fan.
mean. This
You know
is
what I mean? We do that because our
MUFC, as I
passion.
said earlier.
You do criticise. That's the way it is. But you know what I mean?
And Ollie's got to get.
They
his
get us
finger
mad,
out.
but we love him. That's
Yeah.
what it is. That's football, isn't it?
He really has, man.
But it's just this game for me. It's just this game. After everything that's gone on, it's just this game. And this is Liverpool. It's, you know, the history. Do they not understand about what this is for?
Still 35 minutes to go. Hopefully,
Yeah.
enough time.
We'll get
for
a
United
draw.
to get
We'll
goal
get a
or
draw.
two.
I'm putting my neck out there. We'll get a draw.
Go on, I'll take a draw.
You think?
It's a good. It's not a good ball. It almost was. It's a foul though, ref. Don't get the ball, does he?
Get up, Marcus. Come on.
Rye says, how much do we raise selling...
That's a yellow.
How's that not a yellow?
That's a yellow.
How much do we raise selling De Gea, Pereira, Mata, Jesse, Pogba, Martial, Donny? Is it enough to buy Grealish, Rice and Sancho?
We're not going to sell Donny, are we?
Yes, but how much would we raise if we did?
Yeah, enough to buy whatever he said.
So you're telling me, watching this game now, that Jesse Lingard wouldn't play in this side?
Oh, Paul Pogba.
But come on, man. Are you telling me that? No, mate. All he wanted to do was just play. The backstory was horrific, right?
Yeah,
and now he's playing. He's mentally better. He's playing. That's all he wants to do. Just play football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What he brings to the side, man, when he comes on, he brings that driving commitment and desire. But fans don't. We don't see what goes on. Do you know what I mean? So when it affects your performance, that's all we can judge it on as fans. His performance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at what we've just seen here, you're telling me that Fred's better than Jesse Lingard.
Oh my God!
Great timing on that.
There you go.
Just pass the ball away again.
One man over. 4-1.
Is it the post?
Oh, is it the bar?
Is it one of them?
Get Fred off the pitch. Was that Fred who gave that away?
Yeah.
Get him off, man. Like, what are you waiting for?
He's just lost his head, hasn't he?
Like, he has.
Completely lost his head.
He's gone.
It's a mixture of doing that and then walking around like
regardless of whether
this isn't anything to do with
regardless of whether you rate Fred and think he's good enough or whatever, at the moment he's just constantly giving it away.
Yeah.
Like, just get him off.
Yeah, he's lost his head's completely gone.
Yeah.
Do you know in the PSG game because sometimes a player gets a booking and you don't think he's going to get sent off. He had that feeling of he's got booked against PSG. You knew he was going to get sent off.
Yeah.
He's in that mode again where it's like he's gone. His head's gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've all their fucking heads have gone. But look at this here, Fred. Like
it's not
that
even
ball
remotely
is
near
honestly
anyone.
10 yards away from where it's
Yeah.
meant to be. Rashford is nowhere near that defender, and he passes it straight to the defender.
You just got to get him off the pitch, man. Like, you know.
I'm not
saying he doesn't
I'm
start
not being funny
or whatever.
And we talk about it. But you know, Fred's going to get some abuse online. You know that. You know what's coming, don't you? You know, because
I don't want to see that. And I'm not.
That's,
you know
that's
what I mean?
the poor. That's
but Ollie, this is on Ollie now because Ollie's got to take him off.
Thing of today's game, innit?
You can't be just waiting for him to get better.
No.
I'm genuinely scared when that's better. That is better from him, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm just genuinely scared when he's on the ball because he's been a bit.
Yeah.
How can he not?
That's a foul, ref.
Blocks him out.
Easier foul.
Technical foul. Blocks him out, mate. Of course.
What's he questioning it for? Like, he's lucky not a booking. Rashford knocks it past him. He just steps across him. No attempt at the ball whatsoever. And he's arguing like, how have you given that as a foul?
Fucking, I can't believe this, man. I can't fucking get over it.
Free kick to United. 25 yards out.
To me, they're just playing like they're not recognising who we are playing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is what kills me. These games.
Do you think that's in them though? Like they're I know there's one or two, but do you think that mentality is this is the Scousers, this is like
that's a good cross as well. I think the problem is, I mean, I don't. The way Fred is playing now, as Pogba just wants too long again,
loses out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Again.
Look at this.
It's not the best knockback from Salah there, and he's allowed. Well,
play it now.
Play it.
Decent save by Henderson. We're just. To me, this isn't the performance of a team that don't know the consequences and don't know the playing. It's a
oh my
of a
God!
team.
What are you doing?
The stress and the intensity that they put themselves under makes me think they do know the severity of this game. Because for them to have collectively lost their heads like this doesn't happen if this is against Fulham or even Chelsea, another team, a big team that's not a huge rival. I think they're in their own heads too much about this.
What's this now?
This is horrendous.
But just watch this now. So watch the rebound come off him. Right, watch Fred here now. Look. Put your foot through the ball. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to be ugly.
Yeah.
In fairness, I do think that was a foul.
I know, but sometimes
I agree.
You've got to be ugly sometimes.
Fred
defending.
should have done more, but Alexander-Arnold literally pushes him over.
Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, just swing your fucking foot through it.
He's there waiting for
ball.
Henderson to come and get the ball.
Yeah.
You've got to defend ugly sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Ollie's waiting for. Like, this is really thank fuck for that.
Mason Greenwood coming on.
Yeah, but
and Fred off.
For Fred.
20 minutes. Well, fucking 15 minutes too late.
There's no doubt that that's the right thing to do.
One goal. Don't shake your head. What are you shaking your head for?
He can't think he's had a good game. He can't be coming off.
Shaking his head for?
Like you said, regardless of. I'm not trying to say that he should never play for United again or he shouldn't start the next game.
Forget that.
Look at today's game.
Those 62 minutes are a terrible 62 minutes from a footballer.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
all
you can only judge players right on their performance right on the said game. It's as simple as that, right? And not one of them to a man has done enough.
No.
Look where we are.
Not one of them.
Well.
Look, we're trying to play possession. They can't do it out from the back because they don't do it quick enough.
Yeah. It looks as though Pogba's dropped deep alongside McTominay. I'm not sure which side Mason's on.
I presume that Marcus goes
right.
over to the left and Mason on the right. That would make the most sense, and just obviously Cavani down the middle. But we'll wait and see.
Let's put Pogba on the right here.
Right, just fucking get up, man. Put your foot through it and just go long.
I hate that new trying to play out from the bloody back. It's not only City that can do that, man.
Especially this game, the way it's been going.
Yeah, you wouldn't trust United. You wouldn't trust United to string 8 passes together to get us out of trouble here, would you?
But this is what's really annoying me. It's really annoying me. Do they know? Like you just said, do they know this is Liverpool? Do they not?
Joe's making a point of perhaps they do, and that's why they're.
Yeah,
like
I think that's where they're shitting themselves. I think for them to have gone completely capitulated the way they have,
look,
everyone's just lost it. I think they must be overthinking it and thinking that it's Liverpool shit. That's a bit better from Bruno. Good pass around the corner. Now a bit of quality would be good. Not quite. It's the first time we've actually fucking tried a bit.
If we don't service it for Cavani,
no, he's had nothing.
He's nothing. Against the two young lads there. Yeah. Bruno, stop moaning and get on with the game.
The one time those two defenders have had anything to do, he scored an own goal. Like they've not had any test whatsoever, have they? This happened the last time at Old Trafford.
That's an embarrassing performance.
The last game at Anfield, where they had like even less of a first team out than they do.
That's a better ball.
And we just didn't push their defenders at all. There's a bit better. Wan-Bissaka's done well there.
There was no way he was going to hit that with his left foot.
No. Greenwood with a cross. It's a corner to United. Dave Lewis said, fair play to Ollie for subbing him now and not with 4 minutes to go. Fair play to Joe for being so measured and in control of emotions. I'm not that in control of my emotions, but I'm just trying to think, how is this, why is
Jesus is always cool, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus is always cool.
Serenity, serene.
Yeah, but what you don't tell the people who are watching that he has 4 hours of meditation before he comes in here because he knows what it'll be like.
Yeah, underneath a tree in Piccadilly Gardens. That's a foul. I mean, it's not much more than that, is it?
No.
But it's so dramatic, man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Corner to United.
A bit of that from Bruno, though.
Sure.
Look, quality.
For near post.
Shite.
We're trying to be as positive as we can here, but just look at the performances, you just go. And for me, it's just that. I just like.
The one game.
You fight, man.
Like,
I'd love to hear what Keno's got
to
say after this.
I'd
love to hear what Keno's got to say about this if we don't get some out of it.
Terrible as well, being a goal up in it, and then this happening as well.
I know.
Because we started really well.
It's like a 4-1. That's remember 4-1. We did that then, didn't we?
And do you know what? To be fair, like we've talked about every other player, but we've not mentioned Lindelof.
He's been all right.
I know he has.
He's been good.
We were saying before, weren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Round of applause for
No, but we were
Lindelof.
saying before, weren't we, about them two, and the onus was on Bailly, wasn't it? We said about Bailly, but he's.
Yeah, Lindelof's been all right. Another corner for United. Oh, McTominay nearly there. Oh, he's done well there. He saw Bruno dropping off, didn't he, Salah, and he just took it down.
Take a book in there, Pogba.
He won't catch him, mate.
Thiago.
Look at the ball. Look at how so easy it is. Look.
Great tackle, Wan-Bissaka. Fucking hell.
Inspector Gadget legs. He's done his groin there. He's done his groin. Look. Oh, look. He's pulled up, man. He's pulled up.
We've got half
Don't give it back.
Final now.
He's pulled up.
Fuck's sake.
Here we go. Who have you got in there now then? Williams?
Yeah, is he on the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Wan-Bissaka's pulled his groin there. That's a good pass. A bit lucky.
Two touch.
There you go, Rashford.
First time.
Go on, Marcus.
Yes! Yes! Come on.
Fucking hell. Good lads. 25 minutes to go now. Man United 2, Liverpool 3. We needed that. I did not see that coming. That comes from a really good flick from Bruno and a great ball through from Cavani. 1-2. Just times it, waits it, waits it.
Oh.
Brilliant. And
Yeah, but 2 touch, bruv.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. That's all it is, isn't it?
Mate. Come on, we're in this now. Somehow, we're still in it. We should have been dead and buried, mate, to be honest with you.
Oh, he's a bit of a scruffy
I'll
little
celebrate
thing.
the next one, mate.
He's one of them. He don't
Don't
care.
this one, mate.
Hey.
Because the next goal, that's going to be the one for you either.
Wan-Bissaka looks like he's trying to stay on.
Yeah, but you see, why then are you exasperating the injury then? Get him off and rest him.
I don't know, he might be alright.
What is it? It's 2 weeks to the final, isn't it?
It might not be a proper pull. He might just
like a twinge.
A twinge, and he's I mean, you're right. If he is, then he needs to come off.
Especially a groin injury.
Yeah, we don't.
I think it was his thigh. I don't know if
was it. I thought it was like.
Was it high up? Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like you said, maybe it's not much. You know, sometimes you just go a bit too far, like you've done the splits, and it hurts.
Oh, come on, man! You just think, oh, look at that! Look at me! Just
that is
look!
Awful.
Look!
Absolute statue there, Paul Pogba.
Goal!
Fucking hell. Trent just went past Pogba like he wasn't even there, didn't he?
Look!
Just, I mean, he sells him a dummy, but he don't do. He don't have to do a lot.
But
does he?
so listen, right? So he's gone past Pogba, right? Then look at McTominay. McTominay doesn't even break a stride to get into him to put him off. Because you know what? You don't have to win the ball.
Look at where
but you got to make him think. His decision making.
Honestly.
Is he going to tackle me? What am I going to do? Put doubt in his mind. He's just gone past Pogba. And McTominay just drifted.
That's good. Go on. Who's that, Mason?
Go on, Mason.
Good pressing there, Mason. Yeah, well done, Mason.
That's it. Force him into an error.
He did well there.
Force him into an error,
Yeah,
son.
he did well. Cavani did nicely, and then Greenwood putting Alisson under pressure. He's put the ball out.
It's not good for our health, this game.
It's not good, is it? Okay, now. Throw in. That Greenwood out to the left. That's a lovely pass, that.
Go on, take him on, man.
Rashford.
Take him on.
Sure.
First time.
Pulls it back. Cavani going for it. He's won it.
It's it!
Bruno. Oh.
It's it!
Greenwood! Oh,
it's it! Oh, my days. Production team like that.
Cavani does really well
Scared
there.
the poor man to
Bruno
death.
just gets a slice on it. Greenwood, one blocked off the line.
Man.
And then another one blocked straight in front of him.
What's this?
Oh, fucking bastard.
I think he could have left it for Scott, but you can't blame him for having a second shot there.
Come on.
Corner to United.
Come
That's
on,
better.
come on,
Deeper.
get up!
McTominay wins it.
Come on!
What are you doing?
What's happening here?
Jesus. Don't let him out. Don't let him out. Don't let him out. Don't let him out. They've got runners.
Win that. Well done. As well, Wan-Bissaka there. Just putting
Play
enough
it, man.
pressure
Play
on.
it.
Feel a bit of momentum shifting now, don't you?
Yeah.
Rashford.
But it's when they start doing things. It's when we start doing things quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruno's didn't get hold of that properly, did he?
No. George Hall says Greenwood game changer. He's been good since he's come on. He's looked sharp.
Oh no, he don't get anything on it. Hardly.
Does he not?
Hardly.
Fucking back sitting.
I think if he does.
And he needs to change these chairs. Economics.
Yeah.
Economics. Where are you, Howson? Get these chairs sorted
60
out.
grand on a chair.
Yeah, that'll do. See what I mean? It's plus 1, 2, bang.
Oh, it's a fucking scruffy little finish.
It's
that.
almost.
I like that.
They all
it's good
count,
that
mate.
It's good that he scruffs it because it goes through his legs because he scuffed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Where if he hits
Otherwise
it properly, it probably goes
You've
straight.
already
into the
learned
chip.
that, Fletcher Moss, mate.
Yeah,
what do you
you know
mean?
that, innit?
Train for that,
Hey,
mate.
is
Train for that.
Is that what you used to teach him?
Train for that.
Hey.
Greenwood smashing one
Smashing
from
into
30 yards.
McTominay. Was that McTominay when it
Top bin, bang.
Go on, Aaron. He's testing his groin out there.
Go on.
Well,
Corner.
Does well there, Wan-Bissaka. This is much better from United. It's almost, they've just stepped up the pace of everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
What was saying before? That's what it's about. Kid,
Yeah.
we got to dictate the tempo.
Yeah.
Any team that plays at home dictates the tempo.
Yeah. Imagine being there now as well, the momentum now, the crowd.
Imagine the crowd.
So
Jesus
fucking good,
Christ.
isn't it? You'd just be on your
Intense, wouldn't
feet
it?
screaming.
You'd be going berserk, wouldn't
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Seriously.
People are getting
You know
sent
what I mean?
out,
Come on.
arrested, everything's going off.
Show with the corner.
Attack it.
Go on, Victor. Oh, it's not bad.
Oh, he's done well there to get
Yeah.
there, to
Someone's
be
gotta
fair,
be
you know.
running
But
in
there's
there,
no one,
hasn't
there's
there?
no one,
Someone's gotta be
there's no
running
one
across the
anticipating
keeper
the
there.
second ball, are they?
That's it.
There's no one anticipating the second ball. Look at the stats there now. Look.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Stand him up, stand him up, stand him up.
Go on, Mark. No way. Not from there, lad.
Very ambitious there, wasn't he?
Has his Nash has done him?
Mo Salah, I don't know. They've always looked like that, haven't they?
Looks like Red Rum there.
I don't know. It's Firmino, isn't it? He's got the pearly whites.
And Klopp.
Oh,
They went to the same bloke, didn't they?
Oh, here he is now. He'll start throwing things about throwing his. Do you know what, this kid? He's such a small little brat, isn't he? He's a striker man, isn't he? But I tell you what, does he not moan? Another one with his arms up in the air.
Egbert says, "Great show, guys. As always, thank you. This is why Rashford is better on the left and Pogba at number 6. Yeah, maybe. I think Rashford on the left definitely. Pogba been skinned a couple of times already, hasn't he? At number 6, but
yeah,
definitely Rashford's better off the left hand
He's
side.
got to be doing more, man. I'm sorry. These men who want to be the United frontmen, they've got to be doing more in games like this. It's about leadership.
Yeah.
It's about leadership. Bruno, mate, no one can come out of this without criticism. It's, basic mistakes, basic errors.
Yeah, well done, Cavani there. That's
Cavani,
good.
brilliant there.
Yeah, really good. Pressing.
But why
Thiago.
should he have to do that, man, when he's got people in front of him?
You shouldn't, you're right.
Well done. Go on, Aaron.
First shot.
Did the hard bit.
There's no one to cross it to at the time, was there? So we had to.
fancied himself of pinging a 50-yard ball across.
Yeah, because he's right on the touchline, quite far out, wasn't he?
But look. You should be sprinting to get in front of that ball.
That's a poor cross. Go on, Dean. Well done, lad. Pogba. That's a good ball, that. Just he had to proper fizz it into Greenwood to get it through the men, didn't he? And he made it hard to control it.
Look, you're
Sharp
forcing
from
it,
Bruno,
man.
yeah.
Stop
Cavani's
forcing
on
it.
there.
Didn't need to do
Look
that.
after the ball.
Yeah, Cavani.
Offside.
Well
he's done well. He's done well.
Was that down there or what?
Yeah, but I think, you know what? It's that new real thing, isn't it?
Oh,
They let to see where it ends up, which is so frustrating, isn't it?
He did well, though, Henderson.
He did, to be fair.
You know. United are going for it. It almost feels like, do you know at Anfield last season where we lost 2-0?
Yeah.
Where we were pushing to get that goal back at 1-0 and then they scored another one at the counter. United are really pressing forward now. Bit more space for Liverpool on the counter-attack, but we need to get a goal, don't we?
They need a win, man. Even a point. Is a point. What's
a
a
point?
point
If
for
they
them?
get a point tonight and they win the last 3 games, I think they can still do it.
Is it?
Yeah.
But
So
like everyone else have to lose all the games.
Right, go on. You've done the hard bit. No!
No! Cavani's right there.
Take responsibility, Marcus. Come on, man.
Like,
be the hero.
Does the
He's done the hard bit. Look, get your head up. Look at Cavani there. Look. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's an easy
It's
pass.
a tight angle as well, isn't it, Rashford's? Dave Lewis said the midfield linchpin change is so important to ball retention. We have looked a lot better
That's an
since
amazing
the change.
save, that, if he is onside.
He's onside?
I think so. I think that's what they're saying.
He does well there. Sticks his leg out last second.
Gareth Southgate.
You know, Gareth there.
Most fucking phased man ever. Can't stand him.
But what about the waistcoat, Jay?
I know, yeah. Look at me. I'm quirky. I wear a waistcoat.
Jay's got 7 of them, you know. 1 for each day. Just
one for each game.
Just
Still
don't wear them.
Big snooker players in your youth, weren't you, Jay?
Yeah. I'm the Doug Mountjoy of Eccles.
Come on, Matador. Pull something out. Pull something out.
Bruno. Ooh, on ball.
Yes.
Free kick.
Penalty, surely.
Yeah, come on. Come on, ref. Don't fuck about with free
Hey,
kicks.
what?
This is Manchester United, Liverpool. That's
Yeah.
a penalty.
Hey,
Don't matter whether it
it's-
happened inside the box or not, lad. Oh, do you remember at school when someone would do a bad tackle in the opposition box and they'd be like, you know, that's such a bad tackle, penalty. Yeah. Like, what? That's not the rule. Yeah, but he's really took him out there, penalty. He's on the halfway line.
Teach you something.
Fuck's sake. Come on. He scored a free kick. Was it?
Yeah, in the
Liverpool?
FA Cup.
Rashford's doing this, mate. You know what he's like? Him, Mr.
No.
Flipping, I want to be Ronaldo.
No.
It's either going Rosetta in the top corner.
Rashford scored 2 free kicks for us, hasn't
I'm telling you.
Definitely scored one against Chelsea.
he? Yeah, and it was it
One of the best I've ever
Celta
seen.
You know what he's
Vigo, was
like?
it? He scored against as well. There's one where the keeper jumps.
Listen, I don't care who takes it, as long as it goes in.
The keeper jumped back But it was that keeper who was making his debut when he was 18.
I don't know.
yeah.
And he saved it, but he was in his
Yeah,
goal.
remember? Yeah.
Like, he went like that.
Yeah.
He was stood, like, beyond over the line. So, but for me, you've got to let Bruno have this.
Yeah. Perfect position,
Like,
that.
Marcus tends to be better when it's further, well, that one
nearly
against
halfway
Chelsea was
line.
further out, wasn't
Nearly
it?
halfway line, yeah.
We don't know what criteria you need for Rashford to score a free kick because he don't do it very often.
What's all that lying on the floor? What is all that about?
It's chilling out, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
I
tell you, he won't do that again if he gets smashed in the kite, will he?
Say, has it ever happened where someone... Oh, go on, Bruno.
Oh, come on, man.
Over the top. Has it ever happened where the players laid down behind the wall and then the wall jump up and they go backwards and they all just fucking land on it? I'd love that. Just 28 studs landing on you at the same time. Unlucky.
Got some jugs on him, hasn't he? Hey, what? You think with all the money he's got, he'd have them pinned back?
What?
Yes.
Bruno's jugs.
He likes them.
Look at Klopper here. Look at
This
Klopper.
season's just fucking shit, innit?
Hey.
Now, I know we've still got the Europa League final, but, you know...
We've still got 15 minutes left to go, yeah.
Teetering out to just in the league to just nothingness.
Fucking Europa League.
It's like losing home to Leicester and fucking Scousers as well. Come on.
2-touch, man. Oh. It's the first tackle he's made in it all game. Of course it's a yellow. We can't complain about that.
Yeah, it's yellow all day long now, isn't it?
See, but that's what I'm trying to say. Stupid bookings. So if you're going to get booked, do it when we're chasing the ball back or when we're trying to break something down.
Yeah, the game was slowed right down on the halfway
You know what I'm
line
saying?
there, yeah, you've wasted your yellow card there.
Well, there's
He's
another
gonna
one.
Get sent off if he's not careful. Looked like he pulled fucking.
Who's the master?
Mane down.
Who's the master of that tactical fouls?
What you do?
That
Why do
Fernandinho,
that
innit?
there, Paul Pogba?
Yeah.
Why would you flick that up like
I
that?
don't know.
That's mental.
Here's what we'll do. We'll make Bruno Fernandes have to beat Fabinho in the air on the edge of his own box.
Honestly, I don't know what is up with him tonight, man, but he's made everything
What's this?
more
What's Matt
complicated.
Tomlin here? What's Matt Tomlin here?
Ooh, he does,
What are you doing?
He does everything except fouling, doesn't he? That's right on the line.
What's
that.
this?
I don't think he does. I don't think he grabs
That's
it. I
what I
think
mean.
he just falls onto him.
But he kind of makes sure there's contact, doesn't
But
he?
any other ref, you know.
He does well there, actually, McTominay. If that
So
was
United weren't even awake then when he took that. Took that. Why have he come back inside there?
booted in. Fair
Oh
enough.
my God.
No, I think that's fair enough there. He ain't got a pass on. And he's in his...
Right then, so what? Hit the corners then.
Yeah.
Go on the same side and hit the corners. You've just done a diagonal 60-yard ball. Which is stressful, man. Can't you invite me to an Ipswich game or something?
I know. Get you in the early rounds of the League Cup next season. And we've got Plymouth.
Under 23s will be all right.
Yeah, we did under 23s on Twitch. We did it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right.
Some nice players, isn't there?
Yeah, some decent ones, man. That lad got sent off. Hannibal Medjugorje got sent off, though, 2 yellows.
Yeah. He looks like a superstar, doesn't he? Just looking at him. He could be a model. He should be a model, shouldn't he?
He's definitely got the looks. Got the skills as well. He just had it's a bit of a...
Well, it's where he can do it in the big stage, mate.
Well done, Lindelof. Did really well there. Going back to the goal. There you go. Mitch Lindelof did well.
No, but you see there, you see what he did there? He's done in three there, where he's just doing one. You know, like, just pass it straight back instead of just one touch, two touch. And then you're giving them time to adjust.
Good defending. Eric Bailly. Keep the ball, keep the ball. Got a bit lucky there, McTominay.
You just feel that, like, don't want to be melodramatic off one performance, but with the whole McTominay Fred thing, it's obvious, isn't it? We haven't got a standout midfielder in that position.
Yeah, but I think anyone can see that.
Do you know
My
what I
hope
mean?
is that
Like,
Ollie knows that.
Yeah, it's like you've got
that's a good
basically two players who are all right, but you need like one who's
great.
So you're going if you go Grealish?
Well, I think
Madison.
I think we need
You're
to
upset with Bruno diving around all the time. Imagine Jack Grealish in the
They'll
team.
send you over
I
the
know,
edge.
but I think
They'll send you.
but I think, but
No one likes getting fouled more than him.
Technically, I think Grealish is far better. He was a better player than him.
Than Bruno?
Skillfully, I do.
Maybe
I think
certain
technically,
portions of his dribbling and stuff. Maybe, yeah.
I think technically like that. You know
He's
what
not
I
going
mean?
to have the same output though. He's not
No, he
gonna
ain't
get
got the
the
same
goals.
outfit. No. I'd have that. But
I don't think we need to be getting that type of player though. I think the priority for me has to be essential. Someone who can sit in front of that defence.
We know someone's going to create. Our most creative midfield player is Mata, and his legs have gone. Right? So who have we got who's going to play ball like they're playing between lines, stuff like that, and thinking quick?
Put someone in there. Freeze should encourage the likes of Paul Pogba to get forward more.
But it should,
right now we've got him playing in a six.
He's got to.
Fred's had to come off because he's terrible.
Yeah, but he's got to be comfortable in that. The team's got to be comfortable. The team's got to be comfortable knowing that they've got a player who's creative, that can free other people up to do those runs, the blindside runs. You know, go between the lines.
Dominate. Rashford.
It's just.
Right up as the boss, and it is about that pride. You go down fighting, mate.
Yeah.
Like you say, the tackles. Look at that ball.
Well, I don't know what he's doing then.
Apparently the stream went down for a second, but we're back, according to Joel Zapster.
Sorry if you missed us there for a second.
Liverpool sitting back. Fucking hell. Alden Luke. Oh, he's not.
He just dived. He just dived, man. He just dived. He knew he'd lost the ball, so he just dived.
That's dreadful.
So now look at him, look. Should Ollie not be doing that?
Do you think they listen to it? A genuine question, like, do you think they listen? Did it? No, don't look at me like that, like, it's a genuine question, like, did it? I mean, I know it looks good, but, like, is anyone taking
Do you think listen to Klopp, you mean? Do you mean Klopp or?
Well, either, any
manager
screaming at the touchline.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Without a doubt. See him do it. Rodgers, see him do it. Rodgers, even the old fella at Palace.
Robertson.
Yeah, they do it, man, and they listen. Not touched him, man.
Yeah, there's nothing in that.
He's not. Look, what is he holding there? Yeah. High up on his shin. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Matador. You're right.
Matic has come on.
Call him a cheat.
For Eric Bailly.
For Bailly. It's an interesting one.
Is Matic just going in defence then? I'll take it.
I don't know.
Well, he's played it before, hasn't he? Maybe Jose there, hasn't he?
No, it's McTominay that's dropped.
McTominay,
dropped deep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Tuanzebe on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah. And what do we do?
Well, got Wan-Bissaka. It's a good cross. Cavani and ball.
It's it!
It's on ball, that.
Was it?
Yeah.
So there you go. Game manager.
What was he saying to him there, Andy Taylor?
Oh, that was close.
On a
chest.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just been booked, hasn't he, for that foul on Fabinho.
No, he can't. Yeah, but come on, he's going for his chest there.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
in a player getting but for what he's trying to set up a goal with your arm.
Right, let's talk about game management then. So we've got a centre half.
Yeah.
A kid who can play centre half.
Yeah.
And then the bottom of the D.
Yeah.
And right back.
Yeah. Can I, whilst I agree with all that, can I just counter that argument?
Yeah, go on.
Last time we brought Tuanzebe on with 5 minutes to go was against Everton.
Yeah, I know what happened. Yeah.
And he gave, like...
But what was that? That was, massive mistake, youthful exuberance.
Yep.
Right, trying to make a point.
Yeah.
I would say to you that he's learnt massively from that.
Right. Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
No, I'm just saying.
My point is...
That was his youthful...
Is that Ole thinking, last time I brought him on...
Well, so what?
Yeah. That's fair enough. I
So
mean,
the kid's got to learn by his mistakes.
Axel.
Yeah,
and if you're looking for a substitution defender, I've got no qualms bringing Axel Tuanzebe on whatsoever. But I'm just thinking whether that's in Ollie's mind.
If the question is why didn't he bring him on?
Yeah.
This is it.
You can see the logic.
See, look, where's the communication there between the pair of them?
That. Bruno's not making that. Marcus could, but it looks like neither of them have really gone for it. It's just so annoying. It's so frustrating.
This is what
we're giving the Scouts
a
top four chance
answer me that question, like you've just said. Is that because he's doubting him? So if he's doubting him, get rid.
Yeah.
If you doubt him, get rid then. If
I mean, it's not a good
him.
look for Tuanzebe either. Sat there knowing that a defender's just come off and he'd rather stick Scott McTominay in centre back than
when you're the only sub.
Like,
and
that's not nice to see that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what? So then makes a change again. We've got one more sub, and then he moves McTominay back and then puts Tuanzebe in. Well, should he do that in the first place?
You lucky bastard.
That could have gone anywhere.
Shitty.
Anywhere.
He's crap.
And it ends up going back to the
So
keeper.
lucky. He swung a leg through it, got it completely wrong.
Let's just get a draw.
A draw will feel like a win after this.
I'll take a fucking draw.
Because it's so we've been so shit.
Look.
Oh, dear me. Oh, they got deflection. I was thinking, why is Luke Shaw not running after that?
2 touch, man. Just play 2 touch.
Dominate.
Do in 3 and 4 what you can do in 2. Keep the ball moving. Try and break down their shape.
Dominate. Wan-Bissaka.
Why has he always got to come back in, man, on his flipping left before he goes back out on his right? Width.
Lindelof pushing right up there.
They're both on top of each other there too.
Yep.
Right, Marcus, make a diagonal inside there now between their lines now. Go on. Let him think about you.
Well done, Matic. Keep the ball.
No, lost it.
That first touch was good.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly what we thought, innit? Same
Make your diagonal.
Same as it
Make
was
your
at
diagonal,
Anfield.
McTominay. Easy goal. Easy goal.
Easy.
There you go.
Exactly the same thing, innit?
What did they say?
We'll be pushing for it and they'll get another goal on the break, exactly like they did at Anfield.
Yeah, but it's decision making again, our kid.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
But look at Matic here. Why you can look? Why are you trying to? Oh my days!
Scott McTominay is just nowhere near him. Can't get near him.
And you can't blame.
I'm not having a dig.
No,
at him.
I know you're right.
Not
But
criticism. Scott
I know you're right.
McTominay.
But what I'm saying, look.
Yeah.
Decision making all around the pitch in every position today. The
wouldn't
decision
mind.
making has been terrible.
You think that Matic coming on in midfield, keep possession.
Yeah,
That's what he's good at.
When he was pushing forward, I thought, he's trying something, but he just runs into 4 men.
Yeah. That's it. That's game
But
over.
around the box there, our kid, it's just be bang, 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 ping, ping, ping. Like I said to you, getting them moving, drag them out of shape, make them lose their shape, play between the lines. You're trying to penetrate through 4-man wall there.
It's just fucking so annoying.
Fuck off.
Honestly,
Into that.
can't stand it.
We've been so shit against him in the league. Matic again there. So shit against him in the league last few years, haven't we? There used to be, there was like a triangle, wasn't there, where for a while we could beat City, City could beat Liverpool, Liverpool could beat us, and like that was just how it used to work. Like we haven't beaten Liverpool in the league in ages.
No.
We can beat City in the leagues for some reason. They can beat Liverpool, but we can't beat them.
You know, it used to be like when we were at our pump, is that City would always win the derbies, wouldn't they? You get the 6 points and we'd go, well, have you 6 points? Because you don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And now it's the other way around. We're beating them down, but they're still smashing it.
Yeah.
It's just shit. It's just so shit. 2 shit performances.
But from a psychological point of view, when you as a player are playing a team...
Talking to you, mate.
Sorry, brother. You as a player that are playing a team that are like, 6 places behind you.
Yeah.
Is that not straight away thinking, we got these? Are you playing with confidence?
I know.
I just think that there's a lot of players in this team that when things start to go wrong, they don't quite have that real top end quality to fall back on.
Well, then get them out.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean that's another conversation, isn't it?
I think this, should be a little bit of a wake up call as well. Like because we got pushed City to last 3 games, you can think, oh, we're not that far off. Well, we are.
Yeah.
Miles off, mate.
Do you know what I mean? Like
on this, look at this. Look. He's let the ball bounce.
That's so bad.
He's let the ball bounce. The kids in the academy at 12 don't even allow the ball to bounce.
It's just not good enough. It's just there's no excuse in that. It's so basic.
You wonder why we lose our heads.
Oh no, do you know what? Like
we love him, don't we?
I
But we
try,
lose ours. You try and be constructive criticism, mate, but you know, when it's just basic stuff like that, come on, man.
Lucario 95, no squad depth, simple. Ollie can't make the right.
That's what, again, look at that. That's
well, he's right in it, like I said to you.
No fucking
game management.
Near it, man.
He's a defender for defender, surely.
I mean, it's funny that because you're right, because he's done what he's done and might just give it away to end the game.
Klopp walking about.
It's got to hurt Ollie, this, you know. Got to hurt him.
Does it look like he's hurt?
Well, it should do.
Well, look at him.
Fucking should do.
He looks like he's hurt.
Well, get off your arse and get on the technical area then.
I know he's not screaming at people.
Well, he should be, shouldn't he?
I don't know.
Because you made the point out before our kid, if you do it again, Lingard, you're off.
Yeah. Meb says, okay, it was defensive shambles, but look on the positive side, we've given Baye a new contract. There's always some.
Yeah, great.
Gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
That's another debate, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but we played Southampton once, you know, and we changed the kit at half time because they said,
I remember it.
Right.
Was that a 5-3, was it?
Yeah. So can they not say that they're playing in a different colour to us, or?
It don't seem like it, does it? The amount of times our midfield's given the ball away. I mean, that's a good ball.
There's your church now. Go on, bang! Oh!
Fucking hell. Just don't get his foot round it enough, does he? About 3 inches wide.
Unlucky lad. Game over. That was last chance. There you go.
Full time. We'll be back for the review.
Look at him, happy days.
We're back for the review in just a minute. The link to the review is pinned in the comments there. Me and Jay will be back for that. Thank you for joining us, Trevor. Shame it had to be on such a shit game, didn't it?
I'm not staying there for the review.
No, that's fair enough. It'll be me and Jay for that one. Link is in the comments. Make sure you click on that.
Thanks, lads. I enjoyed it.
It's always good chatting to you.
Good banter. Yeah. Good. Cheers, thank you.
Cheers to you as well, Jay. Cheers to everyone at home for watching. Man United have lost fucking 4-2 at home to Liverpool. That's 6 home defeats this season for Manchester United. Like I said, make sure you check out the review with me and Jay in just a minute. We'll see you in a bit.